It is our mission to embrace the ideal that our show shall always strive to belittle the stupid and to play an occasional song. We shall also strive to take all of your requests, but to never, under any circumstances, play those requests. It is our mission to offend as many people as we can in the shortest time possible. We shall always remember that no matter how pointless and stupid the things we say are, we shall present them in such a way that they will be lessons that will last a lifetime. We shall strive always to do nothing and to be mean. We shall strive mightily to always be the #1 morning show in Salt Lake, or, if not that, the #2 morning show, or at least somewhere in the top 15 or 20 morning shows. At least once a year, we shall go to someone's home, and we shall eat really good food, and we'll make you wish that you could be there to share it with us. And finally, it is our mission to always remind the listeners that we never lie, and we're always right. So let it be written, so let it be done.
Congratulate you, Carrie. I congratulate you.
Oh?
I can think of no better song to commemorate the concurrent birthdays of Henry Mancini and Chance the Rapper.
Wow, they were born on the same
Both
day.
born
huh?
on this day.
Wow.
So that's the perfect song to commemorate Henry Mancini.
No.
That's not.
No.
Okay, then.
Just because last night the Cars were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Saturday night.
Saturday night, yeah.
Well, then you shouldn't.
And that was one of the songs they performed.
Shouldn't you go on Saturday night?
On Saturday.
Okay, that's.
Yes.
Not Bon Jovi?
No. Did you hear he gave a 20-minute speech? Nobody gives a 20-minute speech.
Nobody gives a damn about Bon Jovi but you.
And then Stern introduced him and,
Yeah.
I heard
and
some of
said,
that.
hug Bob Dylan. That's just...
It was terrible. It
The
was all
hell?
terrible.
And then the Dire Straits, and Mark Knopfler didn't even show up.
Well, that's because they have better sense than the rest of
I'm
them.
not going to that.
Why would you do that? So everything's good? Everything's okay? Good weekend?
Yeah, it was all right.
Busy weekend.
Yeah, it was real. I was very exceptionally busy as well. Had an
You
event
hosted.
Saturday night.
You should
yeah.
repost your tuxedo picture because it's just adorable.
Is it?
It is. It's
Dylan,
cute.
would you want to do that, Dylan? Just
You and Dylan in your
Yeah, just-
matching tuxedo.
repost it on the Radio from Hell Twitter or the and Facebook, if you would, please. I guess. Yeah, we those are nice tuxedos.
You wanted to keep it and not take it back, huh?
Well, no.
Because it's purple. Purple
Nah.
doesn't work for every occasion.
No, that's just Wildcat. That's the Wildcat.
I know, but it works for that. But if you're
But
going to buy a tuxedo, you wouldn't buy the purple.
I went to the Men's Warehouse because I knew I'd like the way I looked. And I did, in fact.
Like the way you look?
Wait a minute.
Oh,
No, you have to say, like the way I looked.
Like the way I look.
It even says it on the suit bag that the tuxedo is in.
Well, of course.
It says, you're going to like the way you look. And George, they kept that.
After he was gone?
He's still alive, but he's out of the company. But they kept his catchphrase because he knew it was good.
Because they're smart.
It's
Yep.
psychological. Because it's like, well, it says it on the bag. I guess I'm going to like the way I look.
And I did like the way I look. And everybody at the Ogden Men's Warehouse in Riverdale, all fans of the program. It was friends of the program. It was exciting to talk to them. They loved having us there. And we, the Crystal Crest thing was it was nice.
Did you
Very
get
nice.
a dinner?
We were invited to the pre-Crystal Crest reception, which was at another location. It was on campus, but but
skipped
we
the
were
dinner.
we skipped the dinner because we we had to prepare for the show. It's the show comes first.
Before dinner?
Oh yeah, you see Gina, that's why you're the weak link on this show.
Because I take
You say
advantage
things
of
like
the
that
dinner?
before dinner. Well, no, I
No,
can't.
you need sustenance to get you through the
No.
Crystal Crest Awards.
No, the show must go on.
You need a
I didn't
banquet chicken to.
eat, and then I didn't eat breakfast the next morning, and I went to the Zen Buddhist temple, the Zen temple with Brad Wheeler.
On an empty stomach?
Well, and that was the problem. So I'm sitting there, and the sensei says, "Well, let's do 10 minutes of meditation here," and he instructed us. So we're sitting there, and I'm really getting into it, and I'm feeling good and relaxing, and my mind is just kind of free, and I'm thinking, what I thought, and I was thinking, this is nice, and all of a sudden my stomach started to grumble, and I knew everyone in the room could hear it. It was that loud, and I felt my face turn red. And it ruined the meditation for me and for several people around me, as it turns out.
So last time you knocked over the altar.
Yeah, almost.
This time.
Yeah, I ruined the meditation.
Wow.
You're not going to be asked back.
It's not everybody in the room said they could hear it because I talked about it, but the people sitting around me said, "Yeah, boy, he must be hungry."
I think the sensei is going to have a talk with you about
might.
the possibility of you doing more at-home studying.
Yeah, he might.
Here's what you say. I'm hungry for peace. Huh? No?
The angel of silence has flown
I
over
don't-
us. No.
No?
All right, let's get this over with, shall we? We're going to start the show now.
And the
Officially.
check-ins today, which we're doing only if you call, 877-602-9696. We have a good prize that I don't think we're going to not do check-ins today because I think people are going to call
This is counterproductive.
Yeah, we want the feature to die.
And we don't want people to call because we're only doing this because people call. And if they stop calling, we won't do it. But now we're offering this prize.
It's Arts Festival tickets.
Oh, when people
Utah
like
Arts
those.
Festival tickets. So they're
People
going to
like that.
call.
People
Let's-
like going to the Arts Festival.
Yes.
So it's 877-602-9696. That's the number to call and check in with the Radio from Hell show. And we will take your check-in. But even if you're calling for the tickets for that specific reason, A, don't ask for them.
No.
And B, because we won't give them to
rude.
you no matter what. Well, I wouldn't say no matter what. There might be some circumstance, and also just don't think you can just slough off. You have to have something interesting to say. You must share something from your weekend, share something you're about to do today, and that's it. That's check-ins, 877-602-9696, and that's how we will officially begin the program in a moment.
All right. Ready?
Sure.
3, 2, 1. Ranlife.com.
Okay, so here's the deal with Rand Life. Now, I have a mortgage with them. I've refinanced with them. They're doing something really special, and I think I might take advantage of this because I am a client.
Okay.
To show their appreciation, they want to give you peace of mind with your home purchase. So you get a warranty a lot of times if you new construction home, they warranty a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're buying an older home or something, usually not.
No.
So Rand Life wants to say thank you. Even if you're buying a second home or an investment property out of state, this is for any state that Rand Life is licensed in. They will give you, a $500 home warranty for everyone who's buying an existing home through May 31st.
Really?
Yeah. So this nice warranty for everybody who's buying a home through Rand Life. As long as they're licensed in the state, so it can be out of state as long as
now
Rand Life is doing business
They're
there.
based here in Utah, which is nice for us. You're dealing with local people.
So go to randlife.com.
Hi, I'm Todd Newcomb, and I'm into trains and railroads and model railroading. So much so that I started a new podcast.
Well, thanks, Ben. Today's word is krenz. Spell it with me now. K-R-E-N-Z, krenz. And now we'll use it in some dialogue starring as LeVar and LeGrand, our two lovable Utah boys. Let's join them now as they eat burgers and watch kids playing at the McDonald's Playland. Again, the word is krenz.
Woo-hoo! Sure is fun to watch them little ones in the ball crawl, ain't it, LeVar?
Sure is. Makes me wish I was a little tyke once again. We didn't have no ball crawls when I was a spud.
Oh, I know. Best we could do was use the rolled-up socks from our sock drawer. Used to throw 'em in a kiddie pool and then crawl around in 'em.
I remember.
How's your burger?
Well, pretty good. How about your chicken noogies?
Oh, tasty. Pretty smart way you figured out we could get these Happy Meals. They don't like us adults to order 'em for ourselves.
Damn betcha. Just tell them that your kids have gone over to the Playland and you're ordering up for them. You know, them high school kids that work behind the counter don't give no rat's butt about it anyhow. They just serve 'em up.
You know, I think this is the best deal, too, 'cause the Happy Meals always got surprise in 'em. A couple of months ago, I got a Catwoman core in mine.
Yeah, I was trying to collect all them Jurassic Park Happy Meal stuff. I didn't get the sick Triceratops, and I missed the Alan Grant figurine, too. That was when I was in court on that DUI.
I told you to quit drinking. Oh, hey, looky here in my Happy Meal. It's a McDonald's Land coloring book devoted to the adventures of Mayor McCheese. Ooh, boy, this coloring book even comes with a little box of crayons.
Oh, this is a box of crayons? I thought these was candies. Crap, I've been eating crayons. You know what, they ain't too bad. Hey, can I die from eating these crayons?
Well, in USA Today, there was a story the other day about how some crayons made in China is full of lead or some kind of radioactive material. I don't remember which. But if it's lead, I know that can cause brain damage.
Well, I hope there ain't no lead in these crayons. I hope they got some radioactive stuff in them instead. Then maybe I won't have to have this tumor operated on. Hey, you gonna eat your crayons?
Help yourself.
877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Is no one calling?
One's calling.
No one's calling.
Well, does that mean we get to keep these Utah Arts Festival
Well, let's
tickets?
give the phone number, 877-602-9696. That's the number to call for check-ins. If you don't call, that kills the feature. We will never do it again. Now, we do have, counterintuitively, we have a really nice prize to give away. Tickets to the Utah Arts Festival.
Mm-hmm.
People like those.
Yeah.
But we're going to start the show first. When life feels like it's crashing down on you from above, Lifetime Roofing is here to offer you peace of mind. You and your family have your own personal fortress of reassurance. Lifetime Roofing, simply better than everyone else, period.
So it's 877-602-9696. Now, we could, what if the phones are broken?
Oh.
See? Now, that could be.
Oh, okay.
The phones could be broken. Does that still, oh, wait, I see a line ringing.
Yeah.
All right, well.
I was going to call and test it. But.
Let's officially begin the show.
All right.
Of course, we are not, we'll tell you about the moon here, but we're also, of course, counting down the days until it's 1 week from today that Planet X, or Nibiru, will strike the Earth or come very close to the Earth, causing a huge cataclysm.
A week from today?
It's 1 week from today.
Okay, that's good, because my Hamilton tickets are on Saturday,
Okay.
so I'll make it to that.
You guys, I've already force-pushed the planet away. So
I'm reading some
don't
stuff
worry
here
about
today,
it.
Carrie. There are plenty of reputable and very highly thought of astrologers who are saying differently. So, all right, the moon. So that's 8 days counting today that Nibiru will strike. The moon is near new moon. It's 0.4% of full. You can't even see the damn thing. It will rise today at 7:31 a.m., but you won't see it. There's nothing there. At 7:31 a.m. Today being Monday, it's the 16th day of April in the year of our Lord 2018. And because it is the 16th, of course, later on today, we'll be down at the post office with coffee and donuts for everybody, bringing their oh, is it tomorrow we're doing that?
Tomorrow.
Is it the 17th is tax day?
yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll be doing the coffee and donuts at the post office for the big lineup of, I still do paper file my taxes.
You're the only
Through the
person.
mail.
You get all the donuts to yourself at the
Yeah.
post office.
This is North America's most over-the-top radio broadcast. It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show is Richard T. Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation, producing video. You can see it at x96.com/live. And, yeah, that's it.
All right, well, the feature continues because people are calling in.
Now, again,
We'll start with...
We'll start with the sponsor.
who?
Well, it's the Utah Arts Festival,
Wow.
announcing the Amplified Concert Series lineup on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Oh, so we're going to announce it maybe. The Amplified Concert Series at the Utah Arts Festival, June 21st through the 24th at Library Square. Tickets are on sale at artsfestamplified.com.
all right.
There are those who call him Tim.
Tim, the mighty wizard.
Yes, hello.
Hi, what have you got for us, Tim?
I just heard to call, and so I had to obey.
You don't have anything to give us, though? Any
Any
a
tidbit
story?
of wisdom?
You just do everything you're told, Tim?
Pretty much. That's why I have multiple
right.
ex-wives.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then I need you to swing by the ATM.
You're kind of just a follower, aren't you, Tim? You're not a leader.
I am. I've never been a lead dog.
Yeah. You're one of those people that they say if you give the people a light, they'll follow it anywhere. That's you.
Yes.
Just shine a light and
Yes.
you'll go in that direction. All right, Tim.
Okay, there's lights over there, Tim.
I know. Poor existence of my life.
Oh, Tim.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, your life will be much better as soon as
Goodbye.
you swing by the ATM and give us all your money.
Okay.
All right.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the only way to. That's the only way to happiness.
All right, then.
All right.
You're not going to need it. Planet X is hitting next week,
Greg. Hello, Greg.
What's up, Greg?
Good morning. I just had a question. What are we going to do to make today's show over the top?
Make it over the top? Oh, wait till you hear.
Yeah, this is the most over the top radio show, isn't it?
Well, this is in general, collectively.
How are we going to go over the top today?
Well, one way we'll go over the top today is I had a sexy time dream about Gina.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to tell her about it on the radio.
No, that's not going to make it go over the top.
Yes, it will.
No.
It will for me. I may have to go over the top in another room.
Oh, God, no.
How's that for you, Greg?
Oh, No.
That was a little different than I was expecting. But
Yeah.
I guess it worked.
Greg,
No,
what
it
were you
doesn't.
expecting?
I don't know, something outrageous, something that you're giving everyone Arts Festival tickets or something. I don't know.
Let me tell you, Greg, if I were to have sex with Gina, it would be outrageous.
No.
It would be outrageous.
Is this today?
For who? For you or for her?
It would be outrageous because the
Would
chances
never
of it
happen.
happening are so slim.
It's not even slim. It's
It's-
negative chances.
It's very. You can't say never.
Sure I can.
Listen, Gina. Let's
I
say
can
we were
absolutely-
trapped
Nope.
in a snowstorm in a car, and the only way we
No.
could get the car
I would die.
started, you would
That
just
would be
die.
it.
Really?
I
Thanks
would
a lot.
die.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. You would not only
I
die.
would rather die.
Not only are you insulting me as a man, but you would rather. But not only would you die, I would die too.
Yep.
So you would insult me as a man,
Yes.
and condemn me to death.
Yes.
I'm.
Unfortunately, so.
Yeah.
I'm just standing over here waiting for HR to walk
Yeah.
through the door.
This was kind of over the top, wasn't
Right.
it, Greg?
Yeah. Let's.
Wasn't it?
I would agree it is.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
Yes, definitely.
Bye-bye. All right. Jennifer.
Hi, how are you this morning?
Great. What's up with you?
Well, I have an interesting, boring story about laundry. It took
Wait a-
me and my husband 3 days to do it.
It took you 3 days to do how much laundry?
All of it.
Oh, about $50 worth at the laundromat.
My favorite part of this story is the laugh.
Yeah, you have a good laugh.
Well, the fact it was kind of like date night for 3 days. We don't ever get date night, so.
So it was at
an
the
extended
laundromat?
Date night.
Like you went-
Yes, it was.
you-
What was that? I'm sorry.
3 nights in a row you went to the laundromat for a date?
We did. Well, we considered it date night. You know how it is when you're married. Anything counts. It was great. He opened the door and shut the door of the dryer for me. So, hey, silver is not
So
dead.
he's a real gentleman.
I think we should give her the Arts Festival tickets so they can have a proper date.
I
Yes.
think so too.
Yes. Woo!
And if we could somehow isolate a couple of those laughs and just use them
yeah,
periodically.
I wasn't recording, so I hope someone else did.
Yeah. All right, Jennifer, hang on the line, okay? We'll give you
I
some.
will. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys have a great morning.
You're
All
welcome.
right, hold on. She's got a great laugh. Let's see.
And one of those people who just laughs for no reason.
Let's see. Good morning, Radio from Hell. Jake in the basement checking in. Please give me at least 80% to start the week. I'm tired.
You okay?
Night Guard checking in. Tim the Tree Guy. Traveling Trav is in Jackson, Mississippi. Laser Sheep checking in, trying to pick out which BYU short I should wear today.
None. No.
My wife made a beautiful quiche for my lunch.
Quiche and BYU. How wonderful.
Stray J checking in, and ferret free since 1988.
Oh, thank God.
Shua checking in. Stacy from Orem.
I got rid of my ferrets, but then it was the cobras. God.
Cupcake checking in. Somehow I made it to from Layton to Draper, and I'm not even awake yet.
You know, I did that last week.
Driving and
I
don't
was-
realize how you got somewhere.
I was coming back from Ogden on Friday. I had to go up there and do some business Thursday or Friday. And, you know, I usually take the Beck Street exit, but you know how it goes to 215? I just wasn't
You
paying
just kept
attention.
going?
Yeah, I just went on 215, and I realized I was on the West Side Belt route going,
Wait a minute.
what the hell am I doing
How
here?
did this happen?
God, I missed that exit.
Shelley checking in. Jennifer's laugh just made my day.
Yeah.
I hope you did get a recording of it.
Do we have that somewhere?
I don't think so.
I don't think you recorded the check-ins.
Call back, Jennifer. We'll get you to laugh.
Oh, traffic. Let's see if other people are driving the wrong direction, Bill. Crash northbound I-15 at 800 North in Orem, off to the right shoulder. And that's the only accident being reported this morning, but you can report things if you can do it safely. Text it to us, 33986, brought to you by National Auto Plaza. Who builds the best trucks? National Auto Plaza does. Lifted accessories you haven't even thought of yet, all to take your next adventure to a whole new level.
I wanted to go to a movie this weekend, but I was too busy. But there's all kinds of stuff at the Salt Lake Film Society
You
theaters.
could just walk over there after
Yeah.
you get off the air here. They start showing movies at like noon.
The Broadway theater there on the corner of State Street and 3rd, or Broadway if you prefer. and then the Tower at 9th and 9th, and they always have interesting movies there, and then they do interesting programs and special showings of things.
They bring in filmmakers for panel discussions.
Salt Lake Film Society, they do that Sound of Music sing-along every year. It's really, and the stuff for Christmas, they're just a great organization.
Well, coming up at the beginning of May at the Tower Theater, it's Dr. Forrester and TV's Frank from the original Mystery Science Theater live riffing a movie.
You know
Two
what they're
nights
doing,
in a row.
You know what they're doing today?
What's that?
They're screening SLC Punk.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a classic.
If you haven't seen that or want to see it on the big screen, you can do it. It's a one-night-only event.
Salt Lake Film Society, you can find out all about it and what they're showing. Just go to slfs.org.
X96 gives you a 1 hour nonstop music wingding with John Smith. and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, 6:34. We got very important sports with Ed Brass coming up. But first, Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Jiffy Lube's team of technicians are highly trained in oil changes, tire rotations, radiator services, and more. Visit jiffylubeutah.com for discounts, services, and nearest locations.
Yes. News.
Tragedy.
Oh?
Who's one of a kind. He was an original.
We had 3 big ones this weekend.
And I forgot to mention Yvonne Staples last week.
Oh,
One of
really?
the Staples, yeah.
Oh.
And of course Barbara. Well, never mind. Yeah, Art Bell has passed through the veil to the great beyond, or has he? Art Bell, paranormal.
You think he's not dead?
I think it's possible that he's not dead. Yes, Art Bell has had contact with all kinds of paranormals, and he knew the Greys intimately. He knew where the black helicopters were. They could be keeping him alive. I refuse to believe that Art is dead.
But on Friday the 13th,
what was his show?
Welcome to Coast to Coast
Coast to
AM.
Coast,
I am Art Bell.
In
Our
Bronx,
west,
Nevada.
Our west of the Mississippi line is full up right now. Gentleman calling in saying that he is, in fact, an alien from another time.
Yeah. Hi, Art. I'm an alien from another time. I just thought I'd call in from the west of the Mississippi line.
He was crazy.
He was, but the brilliance of Art Bell was that he never said, this is a man who is an alien from another time.
He says he's an alien.
He says.
He never said there were aliens. He never,
Also,
he just let it happen.
Also, Milos Forman.
Yes.
Tragedy. Milos Forman, Oscar-winning director. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was 86 years old.
Mm-hmm. Just recently watched that documentary called Jim and Andy, which was the Andy Kaufman movie that they made.
Man on the Moon?
Yeah, Man on the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of footage of Milos Forman exasperated trying to rein in Jim Carrey because he has been taken over.
Did Jim Carrey kill Milos? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
And then
certainly weakened him, that's for sure.
And then one of the great performances of all time, Full Metal Jacket. The sergeant there, Arlie Ermey, has died. He was actually he'd been brought into the movie Full Metal Jacket by Kubrick to consult. To show us how a drill sergeant acts. So show us how,
because he was a drill sergeant for the longest time.
And so he said, show us how a drill sergeant act. I don't know if they had an actor already selected to do it. I think they did. And he was so good at being the drill sergeant. Kubrick said, "No, we're going to put you in the movie.
You're the guy."
Yeah, maggot.
And he's also the voice of all the Green Army men
in
Toy Stories 1 and 2.
Yeah. And we would play some stuff from his dialogue in Full Metal Jacket, but it's so filthy you can't do it. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to tell you all, it's a stink bug season. I know Ed Brass is here. He probably knew that. You know, it's stink bug season, don't you, Ed?
No,
stink bug season, and you probably...
I didn't know there was a season.
There's so many things you don't know, and
You're right.
And I'm really glad that you always interrupt to say, I don't know that.
It's stink bug season in criminal court every day.
That's right. Soon enough, the April temperatures will rise, the snow melts away, and we'll be welcoming blooming flowers and stink bugs. According to Orkin, the bug-killing company, brown marmorated stink bugs, often referred to as simply stink bugs, because, saying, oh, look, there's a brown marmorated stink bug, that's just kind of overkill, isn't it? It says they are the most active between March and September. Stink bugs usually feed on fruit, buds, and pods, and will occasionally feed on the sap of trees and other plants. So they're not good for things around you. And if you have stink bugs, the main thrust of this story was you should call your Orkin man. That's why
this
is
when you said that it was from Orkin, I went, you got a question.
But it is true. It is. I mean, it is in fact true.
Why don't I call my local bug killing company?
Yes. Well,
how about that?
I imagine there is a local Orkin dealership here, run by local people. Well, speaking of stink bugs, Donald Trump decided that, we're going to do a surgical strike on Syria.
Here's how this went down. Okay, Russia, we're going to do this on this day, so tell all your friends in Syria to get out of the way, and then we're going to blow up an empty building, and then everyone will love me.
Well,
Then everyone will love me.
apparently no one was killed. That's but
they blew up an empty building that was warned that it was coming.
they blew up several buildings.
So that does what?
Well, I mean, they may have been chemical plants. If they were, that's a good thing, I suppose. It is astonishing to me, the whole operation, that they can do that. Submarines and ships offshore, and I don't know how many missiles they launched, several dozen, and they can strike with that kind of precision. And yeah, they told the reason that they announced it all is so that they could get out of the way, so that the Russians could get out of the way, and any civilians in the area could get out of the way. And hopefully they were chemical plants. It's almost too perfect to say that, and it doesn't work. Trump, to say Trump did this as a distraction, then that everyone will love him, because.
I'm not saying it makes sense.
Well, but it doesn't work. No, it doesn't. It hasn't changed anything. I don't think all it did is his base would go, okay, yeah, that's right. But that's what they always do about everything.
His hardcore base were actually upset that he did this.
That's right. I did hear about that. Yeah.
Alex Jones was crying.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. He was crying.
Yeah. There was I wanted to make sure we got through this story today, and I forgot to pull it up here. Let's see if I can find it. There was a rally at the state capitol, speaking of Donald Trump's base. It was gun people.
Yeah.
And there was it said, so I'm reading this in the Salt Lake Tribune about it, and it says, here it is, Utahns join nationwide protest. No, that's Syria. 40 people showed up for the protest against Syria here in Salt Lake.
Wow.
The gun rights one, it said in the Salt Lake Tribune, there were several hundred. Well, there were 300.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even look like 300. These are Second Amendment people. They say, we won't be pushed around. You can't take our guns. And says that there are, I'm going to tell you commie bastards to go back where you came from. That was a quote from one of the guys. Nothing.
Go back where? From here.
If these people are willing to march their rights away, then they ought to be willing to march their commie asses to a place where that's already been done. They ought to go to some country that's a commie country. If you read through this whole story that was in the Salt Lake Tribune about it, these people were the ugliest, nastiest, meanest people that you can imagine, and they're all packing guns. Now, if you want to go and say you want to protect your Second Amendment rights, why act like a stereotype about it?
Yeah.
That's what I don't get.
Bring your words, bring your thoughts and ideas.
Somebody says, I'll pay for a ticket for them to go to a country where they're...
Rather than, why don't you leave the country? Bring your thoughts, your words, and your arguments.
And it's just sad because they don't seem, these hardcore gun people don't seem to have that. They have no logic. They have no words. They just recite stereotypical slogans about all of it. This is a bizarre story. A gay rights lawyer, David S. Buckle, known nationally for being a champion of gay rights, died after setting himself on fire in a park in Brooklyn early Saturday morning.
Really?
He left a note exhorting people to lead less selfish lives as a way to protect the planet, the police said. The remains of the lawyer, David Buckle, were found near Prospect Park West in a field near baseball diamonds and the main loop used by joggers and hikers. He left a note on a shopping cart not far from his body and also emailed it to several news and media outlets, including the New York Times. Buckle was the lead attorney in Brandon versus County of Richardson, in which a Nebraska County sheriff was found liable for failing to protect Brandon Tina. Remember that name?
Boys Don't Cry.
Yeah, the movie Boys Don't Cry. Transgender man who was murdered in Falls City, Nebraska. Hilary Swank won an Academy Award for playing Brandon Tina in that movie, Boys Don't Cry. He set himself on fire as apparently mainly an environmental protest.
Well, his note said something like, I'm using fossil fuels to kill me the way you're killing the planet, or something like that.
Barbara Bush, seriously ill, and her family says that she's decided, or they've decided, I guess she's decided, no more No more treatment, no more hospital. Just I'm going to stay home, and that'll be the end of it. They'll try to make her as comfortable as possible, but she's apparently said, let's not do any more.
Yeah.
I think she's 92 and been in not very good health for a while now. More than 2 million eggs have been recalled over salmonella fears. A company is recalled, 9 states are affected, 200 million eggs. The salmonella was traced to one of the farms in North Carolina.
So probably not eggs we have.
Colorado, Florida, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina. Nope, nothing in Utah. But 22 reported cases of salmonella. It always really disturbs me when there's something widespread like that in the food chain, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's disturbing because there should be inspections of these things.
Yes, there should.
There should be. People should be paying closer
Yay,
attention.
regulations.
Because people will try to get away with stuff.
Yeah.
They'll try to get away with not having their facilities clean enough for.
There was another recall this weekend. Romaine lettuce.
I didn't hear that one.
For a 5-state area, not Utah, but bags of romaine lettuce that were making people sick.
And maybe Gwyneth Paltrow may be married.
She may be.
Maybe.
There's a way to check.
To Brad Falchuk. Maybe. We'll check.
All right. Weather? Traffic?
Weather, let's see, brought to you by the team that knows a smile on your face means they're doing it right. Performance Toyota Bountiful. Ask about huge savings happening right now on the 2018 RAV4. Windy today, 72 for a high. That wind is because we've got another storm coming in overnight into tomorrow. The temperature will drop quite a bit, and we could have morning snow by tomorrow. Traffic, we've got just one crash to tell you about. Northbound I-15, 800 north in Orem off to the right shoulder. You can always text us traffic if you see it to 33986.
Very important sports now.
Brought to you by, upon qualification, buy a new home with New Dwello's Gift of Equity program. A gift could mean up to $8,740 for the purchase of a new home. Text the word money to 62687.
Here he is, bringing you the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Scanning the world.
Yeah, scanning the world. Edward K. Brass, Mr. Amy Donaldson. Amy is in Boston, is that right?
She's in Boston where it's 39 and raining heavily.
Did she, is the marathon today?
The marathon is in progress.
And she's actually running it, or is she covering it?
She's not covering it. She's supporting her sister, who is qualified to run it.
Okay, cool.
So she's standing out in the rain somewhere in the low 30s.
Oh, geez. Good old Boston weather.
Yeah.
So what's happening in sports, Mr. Brass?
Well, this is the no-knock search warrant edition of Very Important Sports.
Did you raid someone's office for this information?
Yes, someone raided mine. They left because it was so messy they couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
For Pittsburgh listener Mauricio Paez and San Antonio listener Raul Montemayor from Shanghai, China, the Chinese Grand Prix.
Oh.
Number 1, Daniel Ricciardo for Red Bull. 2, Valtteri Bottas, Mercedes. 3, Kimi Räikkönen, Ferrari. The latter two gentlemen are Finns.
Any surprises there?
Yes, Lewis Hamilton came in fourth for Mercedes.
Is that a surprise?
That was a surprise.
Ah.
In football news. In the Premier League, Manchester United handed Premier League title to crosstown rival Manchester City by losing at home to the worst team in the league, West Bromwich Albion, 1-0.
What was the worst team in the league?
West Bromwich Albion, who's going to be relegated. They'll be in the Championship division next year.
Bromwich Albion.
Yes. West Brom.
West
Brom is what we got, as opposed to East or Central Brom. It's sort of like East Stabbington. In the Champions League semifinal playoffs, of the best teams in the world, there are 2 old faces. Those faces would be Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, and 2 new faces. Liverpool eliminated Manchester City behind Egyptian Mohamed Salah, and AS Roma knocked out perennial champion Barcelona. In local football, NYCFC 4, RSL 0.
Boy.
In the home opener that was marred by a brutal national anthem, I'm told, the Chicago Red Stars, which must be a communist club from Yugoslavia.
They must
like it. Yeah.
I don't know why they would call them the Red Stars. 1, and your Utah Royals 0.
Yeah.
from Monarchs correspondent Andrea Garlock, Monarchs 3, Seattle Fish Markets 1.
There we go.
The Monarchs are in first place in the West. They're the best. They're the best pro team in town right now. Moving on up to the East Side League, the Giza Impact 10, Utah United, which is an RSL Farm Club 1. Muhammad Jones blew a shutout bid. In the Harriman Hostage Standoff League, the Ketchikan Parkas 1, and the Pinafore 0, Little Miss Suit with 10 saves on the frozen tundra. And now American football.
Yeah.
We need to cover that. It's the home opener for your national champion Utah Falcons, who plays at Cottonwood High School. 33, the Seattle Majestics, who I think were the same people that played for the Seattle Fish Market since they were in town at the same time.
Right.
7. In the Utah spring game, the red edged the white 25-23 before a group of parents and people who thought there was going to be a monster truck show on a Matt Gay field goal.
Is that when they do that the inter squad game? Do they kind of just lay off and not really hit hard?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't play. I mean, for that very reason.
You don't want to get hurt in the red and white game.
It's just to put in a new offense or to see what kind of personnel you have. The final score was red 25, white 23. 4 quarterbacks played. Utah's really solid at quarterback. Each of them threw touchdown passes. They have two young men that are going to be in a serious competition, but they bring different skills to the game. Utah set at quarterback. They're deep on defense. At the Ohio State spring game, attendance 80,000. Ohio State apologized for that. The stadium's under construction. It should have been 100,000. There weren't enough seats.
Yeah.
The honorary captains were Malcolm Jenkins from the Super Bowl champion Eagles and Ryan Shazier, who was almost paralyzed from the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Gray won 37-14. Baseball, not very important. Season's only 2 weeks old.
Do you have any predictions, though, yet? For
the Yankees, it's going to be the Yankees are going to win it all. I don't know if it's going to be versus the Dodgers or the Cubs. The Cubs are looking kind of good right now, but the Yankees are still going to win it all.
Not Cleveland. Cleveland's not going to be up there?
No, I love Cleveland, but they've broken my heart too many times. Breaking wrestling news, John Cena and Nikki Bella broke up after being engaged at WrestleMania.
I know.
Okay. This is what you've been waiting for, basketball news.
Yeah.
The WNBA draft, the second player taken by the Indiana Fever, Kelsey Mitchell, a guard from Ohio State, the number 2 all-time NCAA scorer.
Okay.
And
that's what we were waiting for.
That's what you were waiting for.
Yeah.
And the Jazz,
there we go.
Their first-round game of best of 7 versus Oklahoma City in Oklahoma City. Game on Oklahoma City, 116, Jazz 108. Donovan Mitchell had 27 points and 10 rebounds. The only rookie who's ever done that in the playoff game is LeBron James. Oklahoma City's deep. Paul George, 36 points. Russell Westbrook, 29.
Jeez.
Mitchell hurt his foot. It's unclear, at least at this point, how badly hurt he is. Game 2's on Wednesday. The other winners in the first round were Celtics, Houston, the Pacers, who beat the Cavs, the Warriors, the Raptors, who were led by a former Ute, DeLon Wright, 18 points, the 76ers, and the Pelicans. And a late score from last week, Hamilton, 193. Very important sports, 0. Finally, if you know what life is worth, you will look for yours on earth. And now you see the light, you stand up for your rights. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sports fans.
Yeah.
That's it.
What's it? Now explain just a little bit the Hamilton versus very important sports.
The tickets were expensive. That's what he's.
Well, it's not just the tickets. There's the souvenir program,
yeah.
The souvenir T-shirt,
right?
The souvenir soundtrack.
Did you do all of that?
The souvenir snacks.
You did all of that?
Well, I didn't do that, but
Are you going to do it?
No.
He loves somebody he did it for.
Thank you.
Exactly.
She solved the problem.
Will you accompany that person?
It's already been done.
Yeah. And did you what? So I
was horrified. It was a musical.
Wasn't it great?
A lot of people were singing.
Wasn't it great?
Yes, it was good.
I mean, it's pretty.
It was very
even
good.
if you don't like musicals, you got to say
it was no Jesus Christ Superstar, but it was pretty good.
It's pretty astonishing.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
It was pretty.
It was good.
I have a story I need you to follow up on
good.
to investigate.
All right.
Because Sammy Watkins is he's a flat earther.
Sammy Watkins is a flat earther?
Yes, he's a flat earther.
I don't even know who Sammy Watkins is.
He's a receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a flat earther, and now he thinks he's a lizard person.
I'm sure he is.
He tweeted out, "I'm a whole different species. I'm convinced I'm not human. Never was. I'm more like an advanced reptilian solar being. I'm very powerful. It kind of scares me."
It's the creature from the Black Lagoon.
So I want you to investigate that.
There's a guy on the Rams who sincerely believes there were never dinosaurs. That's just made up as well. So there's your pro football.
Don't tell either of them about Planet X. That it's on its way.
Oh, they know, Bill. They're the kind of people that know.
I think there's a 50s horror film of Planet X. I bet
there
you
is.
anything there is.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure I must have seen it.
It was,
thank you.
It was a prophecy.
Yeah. Bye.
See you later.
Very important sports with Ed Brass, ladies and gentlemen.
A friend of the program says Hill Air Force Base Roygate is backed up severely. Thank you for that. And someone else says the accident, Norm, not affecting traffic at all at the time of your last report, so it's probably not affecting it now. And those are the only two incidents being reported, so help me out. If you see something, text it to us, 33986.
All right, thank you very much.
Guns. That's what Gina's going to tell us about coming up.
And round one of your boner voting as well.
Yeah. If you're looking for a new home, I would suggest that you contact New Dwello.
How you contact them is you text them, and if you text the word money to 62687, you'll get back a questionnaire. And it's a short questionnaire. It's like 7 questions. And if you answer all of those affirmatively and honestly, you could be qualified for some down payment assistance.
They have a gift of equity program, a down payment program, where you may only have to come up with like 1%. So just text the word money to 62687. Now, this is also valuable for you if you are selling a home. If you know about this program by texting the word money to 62687, then you can tell potential buyers. They come around and say, "Hey, look, my home, you want to buy it? Well, here's this program for you, and you could get some down payment money." So text the word money to 62687.
It's the Downrange Podcast.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Smith, and I host the weekly podcast called Downrange, which is a weekly podcast about guns and gear, drops every Thursday on the Broadway Media Podcast Network. You can find it on Spreaker, you can find it on iTunes, and you can find it on our website, downrangepodcast.com. Oh.
Spear. Spell it with me now. S-P-E-A-R. And now we'll use it in some dialogue. Today, our Utah friends, LeVar and LeGrand, have decided to get out of the heat by taking in a movie in the cool, air-conditioned comfort of a local movie theater. Again, the word is spear.
We got a few minutes before the movie starts, LeVar. I think I'm going to get me some snacks at the snack bar.
What the heck movie have you drugged me to anyhow, LeGrand? There's a bunch of kids here in this theater.
It's the Lion King.
The Lion King? Well, who plays the king and what the hell's he got to lie about? All these kids shouldn't ought to be seeing a movie about liars.
Oh, no, the Lion King. Like the animal.
Huh?
L-I-E-O-N, lion. Big cats, lion.
Oh.
It's a cartoon that Walt Disney drew.
You drugged me to a flippin' cartoon movie? I knew there's too many kiddies in here. Got down, sat on a bench, LeGrand. I may be having to vomit partway through.
The Lion King is supposed to be real good, even for the grown-ups, LeVar. And they say the music is real fine. It was wrote by that Elton John.
Who? Well, who the hell is the Elton John?
Well, he's a singer and a writer who's got lots of hit music. He's one of them men what likes other men, but he's still a very good musician.
Cheese and rice, LeGrand. You mean there's men that's attracted to other men?
Yeah.
That's square.
Well, I didn't know about it myself until I read it in the newspaper and in Newsweek.
Oh.
Anyhow, I'm going to the snack bar. I can't get through a movie without some popcorn and a drink and some nachos and some Junior Mints and a box of Goobers and some malted milk balls and a pack of red vines. You want anything?
Nope. I got my refreshment right here, LeGrand. I sneaked in this can of Vienna sausages and one of them Army surplus MREs, and this.
What's that, canteen of water?
Nope, ain't water. Nope. Spear.
Spear?
Yep, spear.
Spear? God almighty, LeVar! You better hope the usher don't catch you.
Oh, yeah, like Mr. 16-year-old pimple monster's gonna be a real threat. And I'm telling you, LeGrand, if I don't catch me a beer buzz, I'll never make it through this cartoon. Hey, is Mickey Mouse in this?
Hell is on X96. Oh, and on Twitter. Follow us at Radio from Hell.
7:02.
Ah, guns. I heard you had some guns.
Well, so for a while now, I've had my issues with guns, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of them. The stories in the news make me more afraid of them, and I've gone. Remember, I went with Frosty and my husband to the gun range and shot.
Mm-hmm.
How is
guns.
Frosty?
He's good.
Yeah, good.
Because I want to try to understand the thing that I am afraid of. And I also want to try to understand the culture associated with it. I think I can handle my Trump funk better if I understand some of this. So for a while now, I've been talking with my son Festus, who's here.
Hi, Festus. Yeah. By the way, this thing of letting your offspring work here, that's nepotism, and I don't care for it. He's getting paid here and working here.
I can leave if you want.
Well, I just it's not you. It's just that I don't think you should hire your relatives.
The culture of nepotism?
Yeah, I just don't care for it.
The culture of nepotism is playing the Warped Tour.
Yep.
That's why I always say Dylan is not related to me.
Okay, this Festus person here.
Okay.
Because he owns guns of his own, and
are you comfortable with letting the world know that?
I think that's all right. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm not the only one.
I mean, it's too late now, but
yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about, we should go shooting together, and so I can feel more comfortable about it. And
I think most mothers and sons should do that. That's it's kind of a thing that they do around here.
It's a bonding activity.
Yeah. And so Festus and Joe and Muhammad and I went out to.
I would not have well.
No, because for him, I want him to again feel comfortable and not think they're forbidden fruit and be
they
too.
Should be.
No, but I mean not be curious about them because he's never experienced them, kind of thing.
Okay.
So we went out to the West Desert. What's that place called?
I'm not giving away our spot.
It's called the body dumping ground. It's a place where you dump bodies.
No, that's directly adjacent.
And we went out there, and Joe has a couple of guns. He has a rifle and a handgun, and Festus had a couple of handguns and an AR-15.
America.
Which part of the whole point of going out there is I wanted to hold it and shoot it and see what it feels like.
This is just really too Freudian for me.
So,
Guns.
I shot Joe's handgun, which is a what?
1911. It's a 22 caliber.
And then the rifle, which is a 22 also.
Yes.
And I felt comfortable with those. There's some pictures at x96.com/live, or if you follow me on Instagram, they're there. And
look at that form.
I'll say.
Yeah, sexy.
John Smith already told me I was not leaning forward enough, and that
I was telling everyone
I know
to lean
you did.
forward.
You did.
I was the range master.
You were.
So.
And I felt comfortable with those. And then Festus showed me how to shoot the AR-15, and I was having this emotional reaction to just holding it because I'm thinking, this is the thing. This is the gun that everybody's talking about. This is the one that's caused so much damage.
Yep.
And I shot, I don't know, 6 rounds or something out of it.
Yeah.
And it's powerful. It's
yeah.
Sounds a lot like that.
And so we took out a big can, like those big popcorn tins, as a target.
Was there still popcorn in it?
Yep.
That's
what
part
would
of
be the
the
point if there was?
Part of the fun.
It's a waste of popcorn.
And so you shoot it with the little handgun, and there's a little bullet hole. You go out and check it when you're done. There's a little bullet hole on one side and a slightly bigger hole on the other side.
Just like a human.
No, this is what I'm thinking. And then
I know.
you shoot with the AR-15, and there's
tears it to
a pretty
shreds.
big hole on the one end, and the back end, it's a huge hole.
Yep. And
it's.
Yeah.
And I said this to you. This is not necessary.
And I agree with you on that. I do not think it's necessary.
This exists is not necessary.
I don't know why anyone has one. Festus, I'm sorry. I have no idea why you would have that.
I will agree that I do not need it.
I wouldn't, or I don't. I would say that I don't need it, nor would I want it.
But Joe agreed. It's kind of fun.
No, it was it was fun to shoot, but in that small instance. But I
Where
can't.
you realized how powerful.
That
it really
yeah,
is.
out here in the desert when nobody's around and I'm shooting a popcorn can. Yeah, but this gun doesn't exist only out here in the desert shooting a popcorn. That's the difference. And then that other handgun you had, the really heavy one.
That was a 9mm. Yeah.
And then I shot this 9mm. I shot one.
I can see you got really familiar with these. You know, what is that heavy one?
I don't know.
She didn't write any of this down. She didn't take any notes.
But I shot one round out of that, and I handed it back to Festus. I'm like, this is too much for me.
Well, see, the problem with the AR-15 is it's not too much for you.
Well, this is
it does way more, tons of damage.
You're making my exact point.
And I can't.
You're making my exact point.
And this all creeps me out. You know.
This one, it was heavy. I felt my hand come back. I wasn't strong enough to hold it straight. And I'm like, but I know enough about myself to go, I do not want anything to do with this. It's too much. But the AR-15, it goes up against your shoulder, and that absorbs the shock, and you could stand there all day and hold that thing.
Yep.
Yep. So this is why I wouldn't understand those things if I hadn't gone and done that.
I don't. You know, it's funny. I don't know. It makes me feel skeevy just thinking about it.
No, but
I am so gun averse.
It makes me feel skeevy too. That's why I wanted to do it.
Well,
I want to understand.
And that's why I don't want to do it.
But I wanted to understand it better.
It's funny. I don't. You know, I can hear, like, as you're describing it. I mean, I get that. I get that. But I already knew that without having to do it. I just don't.
It's different holding it in your hand.
I know what it.
But then here's me, because these are the kind of things your wife would think about, Carrie. We're driving back, and I'm like, I fired guns today. I've got gun residue on my hands. If there's a murder,
really,
and then the cops swab my hands,
Really, I don't want you anywhere near weapons.
Like, I've got the thing on my hands that they look for.
Well, Sue went shooting last week.
Did she?
Yeah, with my in-laws, and she had a good time. And I said to her, she said, "Do you want to go?" And I said, "No, I've done it."
Yeah, and that's just it. I haven't.
Yeah.
So it's this big, bad, scary thing that I want to understand better.
I think it's just like anything else. It's important to, if you're afraid of it, it's important to become familiar with it, so you know if you're afraid of it, what you're afraid of, or become less afraid.
And would I still be afraid if I saw somebody walking down the street with an AR-15? Of course, that's not.
I would too.
Yeah.
And Sue says, "Yes, I thought those exact same things." This is the only time that I thought I could be framed.
See? I told you. So I don't know. I would encourage, I know there are a lot of liberal friends of the program that are as scared of guns as I am. If you know somebody that can take you to a range, you don't have to go out in the desert. You go to a range like Sue did. And I'm not trying to make you love them. I don't love them. I'm still afraid of them, but I want to go do this more because I want to feel better about it.
And so why do you want to not be afraid of them? You should be afraid of them.
I'm not afraid of them. I have respect for them.
I'm afraid of them, and I don't want to be around them.
I've got myself in some trouble.
Dylan Allred.
I promised our good friend John Smith,
Mm-hmm.
who does the Downrange Gun podcast that I produce, that once he has an episode of his podcast, he gets 1,000 downloads.
Oh, don't worry.
I told him, well, I thought it was a safe bet. I told him he could take me out to the range, but slowly, we're getting closer to that limit, and now I'm getting nervous. So I guess what I'm saying is stop downloading John.
No. No, don't be nervous.
No, there's no reason to be nervous because you're in a controlled situation there with a guy who knows his stuff.
I've invited other people besides John.
Oh, well.
So that's why I'm not as nervous. People who actually know.
Just respect the weapon. Treat it as though it is loaded at all times.
Right.
Don't point it at anything unless you intend to destroy that thing.
Right.
You know.
But that's the scary thing to me.
Yeah,
I'm standing there, and I know Festus is responsible, but that anybody can go buy this thing, that's the part that scares me. I trust you with it.
It's a big responsibility. It is.
But I don't. And we talked about this on the way back. You're like, okay, well, you talk about the mental health thing. Not everybody exhibits mental health issues before they go buy a gun. You know, that's not the answer either. the Las Vegas shooter had nothing on his record of having any mental health problems before that happened.
You can always assume that everyone can have one at any time.
But there were some. When he's going to this gun shops time and time again, and again, that should have been.
I'm saying if people are saying, "Well, we need better mental health, and this won't happen."
I don't know what scares me more: conservatives with guns or liberals with guns. I think liberals with guns is a more frightening thing.
I think we need to find more ways that we can come together in the middle, and maybe that's where we're never going to get past any of this if we don't try to understand each other, and not that I'm not meaning Festus is on the other side. I'm just meaning gun culture as a whole. So. Traffic, you want that?
I'm never going to have another dream about you again.
Good.
Oh no! After seeing the shot of her where she's out on the range,
that was kind of sexy.
That was kind of sexy.
No.
There it is.
No.
There we go.
I'm not leaning forward.
Not leaning forward enough.
Yeah, and traffic seems to be going well. So just keep that up today.
All right.
That's traffic.
Let's see. We got boners round 1 coming up. Here they are. Number 1. Gina thinks this should be a boner candidate. I'm not so sure. Boner candidate number 2, they were just waiting on a friend. And boner candidate number 3, if a kid gets molested, you teachers are to blame.
Oh, good.
3 good ones. Wow. Boners round 1 coming up strong, along with big boy news and opinioendo after these.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you Hill Show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, remember that information so that you can vote for round 1 of the boners. Boner means mistake. We're going to present to you 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote who of these 3 is the worst. Who of these 3 deserves to be the winner of round 1? It does not mean that they are boner of the day. It just means that they are the winner of round 1. Round 2 happens at 8:20, where we do it again, 3 more stories. We'll pick a winner for round 2. We'll throw them both into the Boner Dome for Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when Boner of the Day is decided. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
a Gracie's gift card.
Nice.
Here's boner candidate number 1. Gina thinks this should be a boner candidate. I'm not so sure.
What?
Taylor Swift sent the internet into a tizzy on Friday because people just don't have anything else to worry about.
No, I need a distraction of something else to worry about.
I'll give you a distraction. When she released a breathy, folksy cover of Earth, Wind & Fire's 1978 Love Jam, September, on Spotify. This is Taylor Swift.
You didn't have to even say that. No. There is no need to remake. Earth, Wind & Fire September is perfect the way it is and does not need to be remade.
I love this song. I don't care that she remade. Why would you care?
She ruined it.
What? So, if you think she did, I mean, this is great.
This is my happy song. If I am down and hear this song, I am not down anymore.
That's all it takes?
Yep. Ugh.
It's better. Earth, Wind & Fire is much better. But who cares that she remade it?
I do.
Good. Okay, vote for it. That's boner candidate number 1.
Now remember, Gina, she didn't ruin it. It still exists.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can listen to Earth, Wind & Fire. You can take it down off the shelf and hold it close to your face.
You don't have to listen to Taylor Swift.
Didn't ruin it.
You don't have
She did her version, which was bad.
She's wrong. She did the wrong thing.
Well, but that's fine. Let her own it. You don't have to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, see, now, because I came in this morning and she says we should open with Earth, Wind & Fire September. And I said, listen, I have this wonderful, clear mind. I haven't heard the Taylor Swift version because I saw it sitting there and I chose, like a snake, to leave it alone. It's not in my head.
Good for you.
And I was free of that until now.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, I mean, it's not good.
I knew it would not be good.
It can't possibly be as
so
good.
why try?
That's right, Gina. Don't try. You can't, you can't possibly do it better than anybody, so don't try.
Exactly.
I hope you give your children that advice
do.
constantly. Well, it's like you do. I know. You've told Mohammed, you will never be a professional soccer
Never.
player. All right, here's boner candidate number 2. They were just waiting on a friend, which is a great Rolling Stones song.
That shouldn't be remade either.
I think it's a remake of somebody else's song, as a matter of fact, Gina. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
After 2 black men were arrested while waiting at a Philadelphia Starbucks, the president of the Starbucks Corp company said, we're sorry. And they should be, apparently.
Yes.
Starbucks, which once asked baristas to start a conversation about race with customers, remember that? Just start a conversation with your customers about They face fierce criticism after two black men were arrested at the Philadelphia Starbucks, sparking accusations of racial profiling over what the company's chief executive now calls a reprehensible incident. In a statement, CEO Kevin Johnson offered, quote, "our deepest apologies" on Saturday to the two men who were taken out of the store in handcuffs by at least 6 officers on Thursday. Store manager had asked the two men to leave after they attempted to use the bathroom, but they had not made any purchases, police said. The men said, "well, we're waiting for a friend," their attorney later said. The
like you do at Starbucks all the time.
The manager called 911 for assistance, the company said. The police confrontation was captured on video that's been viewed by more than 8 million people on social media. I am heartbroken to see, this is the mayor and the commissioner of Philadelphia, the police commissioner, the mayor says, "I'm heartbroken to see Philadelphia in the headlines for this incident." The two men were taken to a police station. They were fingerprinted, photographed. When they're taking them out of the Starbucks, I don't know if it's a customer. I think I read it was one of the baristas yelled, "They weren't doing anything. Why are they getting arrested?" But somebody, the manager, I guess, called 911 and said, and as it turns out, they were waiting for a friend of theirs
who showed up.
Who's a real estate investor or something. They were going to talk over a business deal or something.
He showed up while this was going on. I'm the friend they were waiting for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really must be fun to be black in America. Boner candidate number 2, they were just waiting on a friend. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, if a kid gets molested, you teachers are to blame.
Boner candidate number 3 for round 1 coming up after this. Big Boy News and a Pinuendo brought to you by.
Shopping for a home? Save money with a Power Rate mortgage from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Check out their great rates at ssfcu.org. Loans subject to credit approval.
That's for the 4th year in a row. Oh, I like that intro. Have you used that one before?
No, I don't use it too often.
For the 4th year in a row, Bowl City Burger and Brewery in Durham, North Carolina, serving their famous, it says here, tarantula burgers for the 4th year in a row.
Nope.
But only a select few get to try the 8-legged delicacy.
There it is.
Why are you showing that, Dylan?
X96.com/live.
I can't look.
Adventurous burger fans can enter a raffle for an opportunity to take on the Tarantula Challenge. For $30, you get the burger, the spider, and a side of dirty fries. Your reward for eating the whole thing? A T-shirt, and it says here, social media fame and glory.
No.
Oh, and a copy of Taylor Swift singing September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No.
Go back to the picture.
No, don't go
Dylan.
back to the picture.
How is the tarantula
It's dried.
prepared?
It's
dried?
It's dried. That's a dried.
So it would be crunchy and...
Yeah. Probably
Would
not
you
much
take a bite?
taste.
No.
I wouldn't either.
No.
There's no point.
Yeah.
Except
It's
a
dare
T-shirt
food.
and social.
Yeah, it's
According to
dare
Bull
food.
City Burger website, you got 48 hours to respond after your name is picked. Should you be unable to call within the 2-day period to pick up your tarantula burger, it will be returned and raffled off to another lucky winner. 6 people have taken the challenge so far. Several more are scheduled through the end of April.
They're all dudes.
I don't know why they do all kinds of unusual foodstuffs at this place. That's what they're noted for. Well, I mentioned this a little bit. We'll talk about it in depth now. The Second Amendment folks getting together on Utah's Capitol Hill, standing on the Capitol steps framed by American and yellow "Don't Tread on Me" flags. Stephen Lund, with a handgun strapped to his chest, asked the hundreds of people standing below. There were about 300, it says here. And what was it at the march with the we were on 9,000, I think it was, right?
I can't remember.
8 or 9,000.
It was 9,000, yeah. Anyway, Lund says if they were willing to let movie stars, politicians, and teenagers run their lives by helping to enact gun control.
That's, again,
Yeah.
It's just more of that.
The crowd roared, "No!"
It's just that bumper sticker Twitter rhetoric that they have.
If these people are willing to march their rights away, Lund said, then they ought to be willing to march their commie asses to a place where that has already been done. If that's the utopia that fits their agenda, let them go. Somebody yelled, "I'll pay for it. I'll buy them a ticket." Me too. Rolling with the momentum, Lund continued, "In the spirit of our framers, our forefathers, we must hold our ground. We must show that we will not budge. We will not be pushed around. We're Utah." Okay.
All right.
Yeah. And there were people there with AR-15s and handguns and knives strapped to their sides, and there we go.
All righty.
So there they are. A man and a woman were arrested Sunday in connection with a St. George aggravated assault case after a man told police that they tied him up and beat him with a hammer. Sasha Michelle Davis and Cade Robert Shearer were arrested Sunday and booked into the Purgatory Correctional Facility in Hurricane. They're being held for investigation of felony aggravated assault. I don't know if we had the mugshot of the two. They were young, and the girl is like smiling and like into the camera going, ah.
No, we don't have it.
They were held for investigation of aggravated assault. Apparently, the two were arrested. They had a bunch of weapons. They were arrested with air support and canine patrols. Oh. Now, why did they do this? I don't know. A 40-year-old St. George man told police that on Saturday, Davis had invited him to an area outside of St. George known as Turkey Farm Road.
Meet you out on Turkey Farm Road.
If anybody in St. George says, hey, let's go out to Turkey Farm Road, don't do it.
Nothing good happens on Turkey.
Nothing good.
Nothing good. The man had driven to the Turkey Farm Road area with another friend. When he arrived, he met Davis. He planned to meet Davis to engage in some intimate relations. Ah, that's what it was.
Oh, well.
He was luring him.
I repeat, nothing good happens.
After he met with Davis, the young woman appeared and started assaulting the man with a hammer.
Ah.
The man also said Davis had used a stun gun on him and to tie him up. So apparently they were preying on this guy. He was vulnerable, and they thought they would prey on him. Let's see. There's a nice picture of Mitt Romney with a donkey.
Wait a minute. Shouldn't he be posing with an elephant?
Well, you would think. But the 4-H team from Duchesne County won a donkey basketball game, 44-42 over the Uintah County team Friday night. The event was hosted by Uintah County 4-H and FFA.
I'm trying to look like a local. Ha ha ha.
I'm a local human being.
And Mitt Romney heard about it as donkey basketball. I like nothing better.
Chums, hello.
Hundreds of former Justice Department employees have signed a petition to urge Congress to act swiftly and forcefully if President Trump fires Robert Mueller and others. The DOJ alumni say they know Special Counsel Robert Mueller and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein to be dedicated public servants and are deeply disturbed by repeated attacks on the agency's leadership. It is up to the rest of us, and especially our elected representatives, to come to their defense and oppose any attempt by the president or others to improperly interfere in that investigation.
Did you see the Saturday Night Live sketch with Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller?
I did see some of it. I almost thought that was Mueller when he first. I went.
Whoever
is that
did
Robert
the makeup
Mueller?
and put the jowls on him, that looked.
I went, is that Robert Mueller? And my wife said, no, that's De Niro. My God, it's Robert De Niro. It was pretty. That whole Saturday Night Live, I didn't watch, the whole thing, but I saw, like that lobster sketch. What the hell was that? That was so bizarre.
I think that Mulaney, who has written for Saturday Night Live,
Right.
I think that he came with a bunch of sketches because
Here
I've
are
been watching Saturday Night
You're
Live
right.
all this season, and it has never been written that way.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's what happened.
Because they did that, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but they did that whole sketch based on the Oregon, the
oldest lobster.
The film.
There's a film on Netflix right now that's a documentary about when the
Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh.
Yeah, that guy took over a part of Oregon, and I mean it was just a huge deal in the 90s. But they're doing a parody of that documentary, and I thought this is so odd. How many people have seen the documentary or even remembers this?
Well, the sketches specifically were written in a style that I've not seen on that show.
Yeah,
almost ever.
I think you're probably right. It was all Mulaney.
So I'll bet Mulaney came in with a bunch of stuff.
I thought his opening monologue was pretty good too. Let's see. Now, I've looked into Gwyneth Paltrow being married to Brad Falchuk.
You've checked into this?
I've checked into this. We'll keep following all day long if we have to.
Okay.
So your sources have not confirmed or denied?
It looks pretty pretty much like they got married in a secret ceremony.
Huh.
Now, practically all of Hollywood turned up to see Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Falchuk's black tie engagement party.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an engagement party.
Okay, that doesn't mean they're married. All right.
It was rumored to be, and our sources have it, and I'm hearing and people are saying, that there was a secret wedding right before the party. Paltrow was beaming when she arrived at the Los Angeles Theater in a floor-length maroon dress.
She looks lovely.
Doesn't she?
Yes.
Fresh from there she is at x96.com/live. Somebody need to sew up that part of her dress, though. It's come undone.
You'd think she could afford a whole dress.
Weird. And who is Brad Falchuk?
Yeah, who
anyway.
is he?
He's like a producer guy.
Is
like
he?
I think he had something to do with Glee.
Oh, yeah,
She met him
he's-
on Glee.
Oh.
He works with Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
Glee and American Horror Story. Yeah, that's right. It's Murphy and Falchuk.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
They're. I think they've been a team for. What was the first show? The plastic surgery show they had.
Nip Tuck.
Nip Tuck?
Nip Tuck. Yeah, I think he was on that. That was kind of a cool show for a season or two. But everybody was buzzing, and I am hearing and people were saying that they have actually gotten married.
Really?
Falchuk and Paltrow.
All right.
So there you go.
Sports weather traffic?
Yeah, the Jazz lost and the Royals lost and
Well, it was just round or game one of the playoffs.
yeah. No, they're still
in Oklahoma, though, right?
Yeah, and apparently Donovan Mitchell had an MRI. He's fine.
Okay.
His foot is okay.
All right.
He's going to play. So I know there are people worried about that. Weather, don't be worried about that today because it will be warm and wonderful. Might be a little breezy, blowing in our next weather incident, which will happen overnight into tomorrow. We'll drop quite a bit in the temperature and could even get some snow tomorrow morning. Traffic looks pretty good this morning. I'm only seeing very minor slowing northbound I-15 through Draper and Sandy. And no crashes being reported at this moment. You can report something if you see it. If it's safe for you to text, I would appreciate it. 33986.
Boner candidate number 3. If a kid gets molested, you teachers are to blame. Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin, who I think has probably ruined his political career.
I hope so.
With any luck.
Apologized on Sunday to people who he said were hurt by his guarantee that children were abused after a massive teacher walkout shut the schools on Friday. In a video posted on his YouTube page, Bevin, who is a Republican, said he had been trying to address the unintended consequences of closing schools when he told reporters on Friday that somewhere in Kentucky today, a child is being sexually assaulted that was left at home because there was nobody there to watch him. I guarantee you somewhere today a child is physically harmed or ingested poison because they were home alone because a single parent didn't have any money to take care of them. And the teachers went out on strike and...
It's a teacher's fault if that happened.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Because that's the only time that the kid would have been molested by his parent, if that's...
Yeah, or somebody at the house.
Yeah.
So now, at least 44 school districts across Kentucky closed on Friday after thousands of teachers walked out. Both Republicans and Democrats called Bevin out and said, you'd better apologize. And it was not just the Democrats, it was the Republicans too, saying, you've put your foot in it this time, Governor. Boner candidate number 3, if a kid gets molested, you teachers are to blame.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. Gina thinks this should be a boner candidate. I'm not so sure because I just don't care enough. Yes, September by Earth, Wind, and Fire is a great song, but who cares whether Taylor Swift remakes it or not?
I care.
Apparently you do. Boner candidate number 2, well, they were just waiting on a friend. 2 black men arrested waiting at a Starbucks, and they were just there waiting on a friend. And somebody said, well, this is suspicious, and they called the cops, and they were arrested. This was in Philadelphia. Starbucks has apologized. And boner candidate number 3, if a kid gets molested, you teachers are to blame.
All right. It's time to vote for round 1. You need to decide, of these 3 candidates, which one is the most deserving to go forward to Boner Fight and get that 50-50 chance to be Boner of the Day. So pick your contender right now. 1, 2, or 3. Put that number of the candidate you think should win this round in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Pretty easy. Most people vote that way. Others call. Looks like Festus is in the producer's booth taking votes today. You can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice. Or just go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting April 16. You can vote there. But you've only got 4 minutes, so let's go. This is round one.
Stay tuned for a
Senior. Spell it with me now. Senior. Senior. And now we'll use it in some dialogue featuring our two Utah friends, Elder LeGrand R. Dunn Jr. and his trailer-dwelling pal, LeVar. Imagine, if you will, LeVar and LeGrand enjoying a lazy Saturday afternoon of TV watching in LeVar's trailer home at the Restful View Mobile Home Park. Again, the word is senior. Yeah, sure is fun sitting around on a lazy day watching reruns ahead of the class with you, LeGrand. Glad you could come over.
Well, I had to get out of the house. I mean, for heck's sakes, Midge had a list of honey-dos for me as long as that hair on her mother's chin. I snuck out before she could put me to work.
You don't mind if I drink me some beer while Head to the Class is on, do you, LeGrand?
I've long ago given up trying to change your sinful ways, LeVar. You know I think that drinking beer is wrong, but I'm not going to say anything more about it.
Hey, what happened to the rest of the beer in this can I was working on? I know I didn't finish it.
I don't know. You must have drunk it. I'll get you another can of beer from the Frigidaire.
Head of the Class. This is a really funny show. Reminds me of our school days, LeGrand.
Oh.
You remember? Me out in the parking lot and you over to the seminary building. We had some choice times, didn't we?
Sure did. Now, I'm proud to say I got my high school diploma and my seminary diploma. I don't believe you managed either one, did you?
Never mind. Boy, that redhead on Head of the Class sure reminds me of my old high school sweetheart. Hey, you remember Franny Hayes? God, I sure loved her.
I seen your old flame a couple of days ago, by the way. I seen your Franny Hayes at the Quick Stop. What happened between you two?
I dumped her. She got pregnant, so I dumped her. Got pregnant right here in this here trailer. How's she doing? She probably got like 20 kids and not a pot to piss in, right?
Married a rich guy. She was driving a fancy Lexi or a Affinity or something like that, covered in diamonds. She looked good.
I don't care. I don't care for her no more.
Oh, come on, LeVar. You care. I seen your face fall when I told you. I seen your emotions fly to the surface.
Shut up and pass me another beer. Hey, you know what? This Alpo don't taste half bad when it's fried up like this.
All right, 7:45. Time to award round one of your boner voting.
And round one of the boner voting is brought to you in part by a pork roast.
And it's Monday, unwind after work at Gracie's with Monday Night Jazz Session with David Halliday and the Jazz Vespers Quartet at 7, adults only.
So boner candidate number one, Gina thinks this should be a boner candidate. I'm not quite so sure. She's upset that Taylor Swift has remade the Earth, Wind, and Fire song September. Taylor Swift has remade that, and that's just gotten under Gina's skin so bad.
Yep.
And then boner candidate number two, look, they were just waiting on a friend. Two guys, black guys at a Starbucks in Philadelphia, waiting for a third guy to show up, and the manager called the cops on them because, well, they hadn't bought anything, and that one of them asked to use the restroom, or did use the restroom. So obviously a crime has been committed, and the police, that's what I don't get. So the manager calls 911, the cops show up, and the cops should say, so what's the problem here? Well, they're just here, and and then the cop should say, well, to the two guys, what are you doing? And they say, well, we're waiting for a friend. And they go,
okay.
The cop should go, okay, sorry to have bothered you.
That's the end of it.
But they arrested them. That's stunningly weird.
No, but even the questioning why you're here shouldn't have happened. Not even.
Yeah.
Because people go and hang out and don't buy anything at Starbucks and just sit and use the Wi-Fi all the time. Never get hassled.
No.
Yeah, so the cops, you're right. The cops should have maybe said to the manager, what seems to be the problem here? Those guys over there, look at them. They're just, what are they doing? Well, they're just sitting there. They said they're waiting for a friend. Okay, sir, that's you called us for that? It's just ridiculous. And then boner candidate number 3, if a kid gets molested, you teachers are to blame. The governor of Kentucky. God. Teachers are out on strike, and so he says, if I guarantee you there is a kid left at home alone right now because they have a single parent, and the kid can't be at school, and he's getting molested, or she's getting molested right now. It's the teacher's fault. Let's see, Gracie's, the gift certificate was won by Enrique, and just walking away with it.
Taylor Swift?
No.
It wasn't fair that you put her up against
Gina,
racism and child molestation.
Gina, I could have put it up against anything.
No, you stacked the deck. It's not fair.
Uh-huh. Boner candidate number 2, they were just waiting on a friend.
There we go. That is the winner of round one. It is now got a 50-50 chance to become boner of the day. It has to beat the winner of the boner voting in round 2. Round 2 happens at 8:20. We'll bring you 3 more stories, and we'll have a winner there. We'll take the 2 winners, throw them into the Boner Dome for Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided.
Richie getting HR on speed dial, brought to you by Shopping for a Home. Save money with a Power Rate mortgage from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Check out their great rates at ssfcu.org. Equal housing lender, membership eligibility required, loan subject to credit approval.
No, it's really not. So I had this dream last night, and it's happened once before, and I think we talked about it. And it surprises me, particularly in light of things like what goes on here today, like Gina with her guns, and her just ridiculous Taylor Swift hate for remaking that song.
I'm not attractive at all. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I wouldn't say that because I don't want HR to come. Because if I say, no, you're really ugly, they're going to get on me,
No, not being attractive is different than being ugly.
That's true. But, I mean, just generally, to be serious, I love you.
Yes.
And
I know you mean nothing by it.
Yeah, it's indisputable that I do. But I don't really find you like to be somebody I would want to have a relationship with.
I'm so glad of that.
And I am too. Because
that would make it difficult to work.
Well, and it would be disastrous just in our personal lives. So it surprised me when I had a dream last night. Now, it was not like sex time. We didn't have sex.
Good.
But
I had the music all ready to go.
Well, I would say that music was playing kind of in my head because we were intimate, but not having the set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were like.
Was there some story to the dream?
Well, yeah, because for some reason we were on a little motorcycle, but a small one or a 4-wheeler or something, and we were riding it all around the place.
Okay.
And we were talking about how much we were really into each other, but we didn't do it. We weren't doing anything, but we just loved each other. And it was kind of like we knew that we shouldn't be doing that, you know. But then Carrie was in the dream too.
Oh, good. You're part of this.
See, if I'd have known this, I would have put the kibosh on this whole thing.
See, there was what was weird about that too? There was a bed, and Carrie went behind the bed, and kind of down between the bed and the wall. And we were kind of sitting on the bed, and Carrie was there, and he was down there doing something, and then I thought, what is he doing? And then he left, and we pulled the bed out, and he drew some diagram on the wall.
Here's how it's going to go.
Well, I don't know what it was, but it was beautifully drawn.
For maximum effectiveness, this angle.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure what it was. Isn't that? I mean, that's weird. It's just dream
it's all
stuff.
Weird.
Yeah, and then we're on this vehicle, whatever kind of vehicle it is. And we're talking about how slow it goes. It goes too slow. We're going too slow.
Yeah.
And I kept telling you, well, it doesn't go any faster than this. It just doesn't.
This is all a metaphor.
I think so. We can't go any faster than this. We cannot go any faster than this. I think I said there's a governor on the motor, and it won't go any faster. And you were saying, well, I think it could go faster. And I said, nope, it can't. And then. Isn't that weird? I mean, it really is weird, but it was very pleasant. I liked you. I mean, really, I liked you so much in the dream. You were great, and we were just people. You know, it's like we weren't radio partners. We were just people,
regular people,
just regular people. And then somehow I accidentally drove this vehicle up the side of a sign of some sort, and we got stuck on top of this sign in front of somebody's house. And you said, "Way to go, way to go! You've ruined this,
dumbass."
Yeah, I mean, it was like that. It was like, you ruined this. This is how am I going to get down? You said. And I said, "Well, here I'll help you down. You can get down over this." And I helped you down, and I was still up there. And you said, "And how are you going to get down? How are you going to get down? How are you going to get the motorcycle down?"
Quite a pickle you've gotten us into, Bill.
Oh, you know what I think it was? It was an electric bike. That's what it was. It was an e-bike. But I did manage to get down, but the bike was broken. The chain was broken. So then a guy came out of the house and said, "Hello, what are you doing here?"
A British guy?
He was British, and he had a cocktail glass in his hand. "What are you doing in front of my house here?" And I told him, well, we were riding the bike together, and we're really close, but I broke the bike. And he said, and I'm trying to fix it. And he said, "That's all right then," and went back in the house. And that was the end of the dream.
And you liked this dream?
I did like it. It was pleasant. It was pleasant. And I knew it wouldn't go anywhere.
No.
I mean, no, absolutely not.
It's still not going anywhere.
No, never would. But that was the dream, and it was weird that I had... you never appear in my dreams.
That's not true.
Oh, once before you did. Once before that I can think of. And it was a similar kind of dream.
A not sexy sex dream.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a not sexy sex dream.
So then it means something else. You need to try to figure out why your brain...
I know.
I always go to Inside Out.
Mm-hmm.
So remember the movie Inside Out, how they deal with dreams.
Yeah.
Is they cast them. Okay, you're going to play this role, and you're going to do that, and we're going to work through this.
They're productions.
Yeah. So in your brain, you cast me as some character in this story. So it's not me, it's me. You're working something out.
Yeah.
working something out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do. I think I know what it is too,
Oh.
but I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
But it was weird that Carrie was in there and drawing a diagram.
And he was- and
I guess
that's-
it was like, I'm going to help out.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a diagram and an equation, but there were pictures too, and you did it in pencil.
Well, of course.
And it was really, but it was.
If
really,
I make a mistake, I need to be able to erase and go back.
yeah, but it was really precisely done. It
Well,
was
of
so-
course.
so
Everything I
nice.
do is precise.
That's right.
And that's why Carrie was there. Carrie
kind of
keeps things
to guide things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gina, let me just, on the record, say that I'm not going to ever admit ever having a sexy dream about you. So it may or may not have happened, but
Okay.
I will never admit to it.
Okay.
Well, I think we now know.
No?
Logic
He's
only
just-
says.
He's just stating.
I will
Well-
never say whether I have.
Well, I think anyone who is a logician, somebody who knows logic,
Yes.
Well-
would say logically that means that you have.
Well, I was hoping for enough to sue you,
Yeah, no.
but there's not.
mm-mm.
I was
Not enough?
hoping.
No. Yeah, I
I
left
could
out
use some more money, but
I left out a couple of details.
also, is there sue-worthy detail?
They would just skirt that line.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's
Maybe-
that's why he just used the word we were intimate.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But-
well,
but-
Because if he got into details,
maybe
then-
stop there
But
because I don't want you to get in trouble.
we were we were emotionally intimate. Most
Here, Gina, this will make
Thank you.
make everything better for you. This will wash away all of the
people have dreams about their coworkers a lot, probably.
I spend more time with you than anybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carrie. I
washing
need
away all of the
cleansing.
icky. It's a cleansing, so it's yeah. There you go.
That's a great song.
Oh. Stalled vehicle southbound I-15 at Hillfield Road in Davis County. The center lane is closed there. A crash westbound I-80 at milepost 135 off to the right shoulder. And let's see. Somebody says slow traffic Redwood Road south of Bangor. Traffic 123rd South exit southbound to go west is backed up. Use 114th instead. Thank you, friends of the program that sent those in via text 33986. Wednesday is free real estate seminar day. Learn how to start, presented by Aaron Haga from Stonebrook Real Estate. Attendees receive free refreshments, one-on-one consultation to design your own investment plan. To sign up, call 801-278-1111 or go to info@stonebrook.com.
All right. Bill Frost here to talk about TV.
Oh, and we've got
Coming up after these.
tickets to give away too to the RSL Colorado Rapids game.
All right. All that and more on the way. Stand by. Geek Show is me and my best friend.
Scott. Spell it with me now. S-C-O-T-T. And now we'll use it in some dialogue with our two Utah men, LeVar and LeGrand. LeGrand has been invited over to LeVar's trailer house for lunch. Again, the word is Scott. Come on in, LeGrand. Door's open, and our delicious repast is about to begin. I hope you brought some drinks for us.
Well, I did indeed, LeVar. I bought the whole six-pack of caffeine-free Diet Sam's Choice Cola from the Walmart. Didn't have no way of chilling it, though. Hope you have smice.
Well, fridge's been busted for a few months now. I've learned to appreciate my cola beverages at room temperature.
Well, that's just fine with me, too. I'm always sneaking a cola from down in the food storage room so as Midge won't know I got a bit of an addiction. You see, we keep the caffeinated stuff in the food storage on the theory that in the event of a nuclear catastrophe, we'll need to stay awake so's we can keep the neighbors from busting in, and so's we'll have plenty of energy to be fruitful and repopulate our wasted planet. If you know what I mean. So what's for lunch?
Beef stew. I helped can it myself. It's Deseret brand beef stew. Because I helped can it, I got a free case from the Bishop Storehouse.
Ooh, I love the sound of canned stew boiling up on the range. Smells pretty good, too.
That's because Scott All Natural Garden and Beef Ingredients. Look here at that list of nutritious stuff that comes in this one can. Scott carrots, peas, taters, onions, chunks of beef, and some beef byproducts.
Ooh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but looky here. This Deseret brand beef stew's got 23 grams of fat per serving. This stew's got more fat in it than 9 strips of bacon, LeVar.
Bacon, that sounds good. Let's fry up some strips of bacon to go with our stew. You know, bacon's got an essential ingredient in it that you can only get from a few foods, you know. Foods like bologna and hot dogs and some canned hams.
Bacon's got something in it that your body needs? What?
Nitrite. It's got nitrite in it. The body needs nitrite to preserve the internal organs.
Well, fry some up then.
Okay.
Hey, you got a raw hot dog or some bologna I can nibble on to tide me over till the stew's on? My big ones is eating my little ones. I'm so hungry.
Anyway, let's pop open a couple of them diet sodas for a toast, LeGrand. To life.
To life.
If we keep eating like this, we're going to live forever.
Yeah.
It's weird looking.
I like his backup singers.
This is Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96.
All right.
There was no John Oliver last night, was there?
I don't know.
I think there was.
Didn't see it.
I watch it during the week.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to Bill Frost, we have a giveaway.
Oh, that's right.
Real Salt Lake takes on the Colorado Rapids this Saturday, April 21st at Rio Tinto Stadium. Kickoff is 7 p.m. Purchase your tickets in advance at rsl.com, or you could try to win them from us right now. I'm going to give you a keyword, and you will text it to 33986. I don't know why this is a keyword for a soccer game, but I don't pick them. Touchdown. TOUCHDOWN. Touchdown.
Well, how do you think they score points?
It's not how.
Oh.
33986.
It isn't?
No.
All right.
Bill Frost brought to you by Wednesday the 18th is free real estate seminar day. Learn how to start. Presented by Aaron Haga from Stonebrook Real Estate. Attendees receive free refreshments and one-on-one consultation to design your own investment plan. To sign up, call 801-278-1111 or go to stonebrook.com.
Thank you.
Here he is, Bill Frost. He writes TV stuff for Slug magazine.
Yeah.
Once a month. It's digital and streaming, and what do you call it?
I call it Content Shifter once a month at slugmag.com. Also find it at billfrost.tv. This month is all about what did all the cast members of Friends do after Friends. It's like all the TV shows, all the good and bad TV shows they did after that.
Who's been the most successful of them? You think?
Artistically, I would say Matt LeBlanc because of episodes. Also,
Just because of episodes.
mostly, yeah. Probably more so Lisa Kudrow because she did The Comeback,
True, yeah.
which was great, and then she also did Web Therapy, which was also really good.
They've all done some. I mean,
Matthew Perry's struggled.
Yeah, he has.
but he's done. I mean, I thought Studio 360
He was
But it didn't last
he was
long.
great in Studio 60, but
Studio 60, yeah. And then David Schwimmer was in Band of Brothers. He was really good in that.
he does a lot of directing too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's stayed mostly behind the camera. He was in The People versus O.J. Simpson, Robert Shapiro.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd say probably him out of
Maybe,
all of them.
yeah.
Might be the most successful.
Except for Matthew Perry, they've all got something to also, Jennifer Aniston,
Well,
not
yeah.
much TV.
Not much TV, but a lot of like modeling and.
She should go. She should be
She's
on
done
Big Little Lies or something like that.
She should.
She's
No, I'm
done
serious. She
tons
should-
of movies.
She should do an HBO show.
She's
She
done
should.
like 50 movies since the 90s. And my
Has it
favorite
really
is.
been that many?
Yes, it has.
Good Lord.
My favorite is still Leprechaun.
That's where we first met her, right?
And then how about that guy to run the coffee shop? What's he been
No,
doing?
I couldn't find anything on Gunther.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I
Well, what do we have this week?
tonight we got the return of Supergirl on the CW.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or as we call it on the TV Tan podcast, the Unbreakable Kara Zor-El.
She's still pining after. Who is she pining after?
Monel. Oh, it's just so sad.
He's still around.
He's
but
still there, but he's with another girl, and it's it's a timey-wimey thing. It's a they just you just wonder if she'll ever be happy.
Will she ever? And
She can fly. What else does she
I know,
need?
isn't being Supergirl
She
enough?
is, yeah.
You know.
I mean, she's got a paying job in journalism. Isn't that enough?
Yeah.
It's kind of a slow week here. Also coming up on Wednesday, also on the CW, The Originals, Season 5 premiere and final season. This is the spinoff of the Vampire Diaries. So if you like that, this is more of that.
Okay.
More teen vampire-y drama.
Yeah.
And end of an era on Thursday, Scandal series finale.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
What is that again? I really.
It's scandalous.
Yeah, I've never. Oh, it's Kerry
Kerry
Washington.
It's Kerry
Yes.
Washington having an affair with the president.
Yeah.
Well, that
It's not as scandalous, is it?
Not as scandalous.
doesn't sound.
It used to seem more scandalous.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And going all the way to Sunday, Into the Badlands, Season 3. If you like your kung fu-y action.
Who watches that?
Lee loves this show.
I would say I do as
And
well,
he,
yeah.
and he says that if you're a fan of martial arts, you know, in movies or TV, that they do it better than just about anybody.
Yeah.
There's something for everybody on TV,
Yeah.
isn't there? Yeah. It's amazing.
Well, you'll probably read something about it in the New York Times this weekend. You'll go, hey.
No, Bill, you're an ass. Is what you are. But I would say, Bill, I've watched Into the Badlands and I didn't care for it.
Okay.
And if the New York Times said it was good, I would say, sorry, I watched it and I didn't care for it. So don't be an a-hole, okay?
Sorry I had to do it. And, of course, Season 2 of Westworld on Sunday.
Oh, yes.
What?
Yeah.
Westworld, yes.
Good.
Next.
It's here already.
Already?
Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I thought I was going to have to wait for a long
And,
time.
and I'm
New
telling
York
you,
Times loves it, by the way.
You've already waited a long time.
I'm
for
telling you
Westworld.
right now, do what Sue and I did. Go back and watch season 1. There's a lot of stuff that you missed out on, and now that you know where it goes, you can pick up on a lot of stuff that they're going to throw at you.
And I've forgotten a lot of stuff, too.
Exactly, because it was so long ago.
Like all that stuff with that one guy who was drunk all the time. Remember that?
One guy that was drunk.
Yeah, there was a guy that he runs part of it, and he was drunk all the time. And then the new manager, that new woman comes in and starts, you know.
She's what's her name from the thing?
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
She's what's her name from the what?
Carrie
She's
knew what I
Valkyrie.
was talking about.
Tessa Thompson.
Is that her, the actress?
Yeah, she is awesome.
Yeah, she's really. I remember her being really, and she's pushing that bragging drunk guy around. All the, yeah, right.
Yeah, we're introducing the Other Worlds.
Samurai World.
Yeah, which I don't
Confirmation
know.
of
Is that the actual name?
Don't know if
it's the Badlands.
Because that make it's the Badlands.
It must be.
It's a crossover.
It must be because on one of the previews we see a logo and it says SW on it. So
I think Westworld is a more imaginative name for your Western world, and Samurai. This makes Rebecca Frost yell a lot. It's like, why is it called Samurai World?
Can't they do better?
So is it like the same characters just in another world? Like,
No.
are we going to see
different characters?
Evan Rachel Wood and
they make them look like Asians. Is that what you're?
Oh, it's Shogun World.
Shogun.
Shogun
That's
World.
better.
Okay.
I think it's Shogun City.
Which was a great David Bowie song, by the way.
Yes.
And that is your week there. Not a lot of new stuff happening, but if you have not checked out Lost in Space, I would recommend it.
Jimmy finished it up.
It's good.
So did
and
I.
he said that it's really good. It's a family show. You can watch it with the whole family. And he was quite pleased with it.
Okay.
So maybe you ought to give it a chance.
I will.
I know your kids aren't going to.
I think they will. I know Little Bill was saying, "Oh, it's Lost in Space," and he was saying, "I'll say check it out." So
The robot, like the robot.
Oh yeah.
He's got the mood ring face.
Yeah, Jimmy liked it a lot.
And how's Parker Posey as Dr. Smith?
Crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's something about that character that I know your kid was upset about that I can explain to you off the air because I don't want to spoil it.
All right.
That'll make it okay for him.
All right.
All right.
But she doesn't go around going, "Oh, Will."
No.
None of that. No.
You blabbering booby.
All right. Thank you, Bill Frost.
Read Bill's stuff, billfrost.tv, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Crash westbound I-215 north at Redwood Road in Salt Lake off to the left shoulder. Slowage south on I-15 Hillfield Road in Davis County. And a little bit of slowage coming up northbound I-15 through the Draper area, but not a lot of accidents to report, so that's a good thing. The team that knows, a smile on your face, that means they're doing it right. Performance Toyota Bountiful. Ask about huge savings happening right now on the 2018 RAV4.
Here are your boner candidates for round 2 coming up. Number 1, boo, Brownie Bandit, boo! Number 2, well, sorry about the burgle, but not much we can do. And boner candidate number 3, boozy strippers brawl on EasyJet.
All right. Round 2 of your boner voting, along with Big Boy News, coming up after these. Stand by.
Hi, I'm Todd Newcomb, and I'm into trains and railroads and model railroading. So much so that I started...
Mass. Mass. Spell it with me now. M-A-S-S. And now we'll use it in some dialogue, starring as our 2 Utah friends, LeVar and LeGrand. Let's listen to the boys as they cut through Temple Square on their way to JB's for the breakfast buffet. Again, the word is Mass.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning for a breakfast buffet at JB's, ain't it, LeVar?
Any morning is a beautiful morning when breakfast is all you can eat for one low price and when your best bud is buying.
Oh, what a beautiful... Wait, what? I thought it was your turn to buy.
No. I bought the last breakfast we had together down to the Circle K, remember? The chocolate milk and the Hostess pies.
Oh, right. I guess it is my turn to buy. Whew, Temple Square sure ain't as busy today as it gets during the general conference, is it?
Oh, you said it.
But during conference, you sure can see that this church is the fastest growing religion in the world, huh? Of course, the Catholics are the biggest religion.
Catholics, Mass? There's more of them Islamics and Hare Krishnas than there are Catholics.
I meant Christian religions. You know what a Christian is, don't you, LeVar?
Well, of course I know, LeGrand. I myself am a white angler sexton protestant. You know, a WASP.
A WASP, Mass. You're a Mormon like me.
Well, sure I am, but I'm also a WASP. Look. I like fishing for whitefish, hence I'm a white angler. I'm a hit with the ladies, you know, so that's a sexton. And I ain't paid my taxes in over 20 years. I'm a tax protestant, a WASP.
Tax protestant, Mass. You, my friend, are just too cheap to pay your tax. Ow!
Hey, what happened there, LeGrand? You okay?
I tripped on that crack in the sidewalk. I almost fell on my ass.
6.
There we go.
What a cheery song.
8:18 right now. Time for round 2 of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you have to decide of these 3 stories which one is the worst and therefore the best choice to be a contender to be boner of the day. If it wins here, it'll go up against the winner of the round 1 voting. We'll throw both of those contestants into the Boner Dome for Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when Boner of the Day is decided. So, 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive...
I can't buy it. Gotta win it. Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
Boner candidate number 1. Boo, brownie bandit, boo! Authorities say a 19-year-old South Carolina man brought his 89-year-old neighbor brownies laced with a tranquilizer.
Oops.
And then stole money and a television when she passed out for 4 hours. Charleston police said in a report that the woman told officers Christian Jellicoe would come over to her home every few weeks and they would talk, and she would give him money. But police say when Jellicoe came over on Saturday, he offered the woman some brownies.
Wait a minute. Can you go back? He would come over and they would talk and she would give him money.
She was nice. She was a nice old lady, and he's a guy in the neighborhood who is down on a kid down on his luck. So she'd come over and they'd chat, and then she'd give him a little money. You know, I don't have any money.
Okay.
Oh, here, take some money and go buy yourself some food or whatever, you know. So police say when Jellicoe came over on Saturday, you know, Gina, I'm happy to go back and explain the obvious to you anytime.
Poor woman.
There are people like that, and then she was probably lonely and wanted company, you know. Police say that when Jellicoe came over on Saturday, he offered the woman some brownies. Oh, nice. She's 89. Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, brownie. I
How
love a
nice
nice
of you.
chocolate brownie. That's very good. What? It's old lady voice.
Yeah, you don't try acting on the show very often. I've noticed. You know, Carrie and I do it all the time, but I've noticed that you don't really step up and do voices very often.
Well, I'm not called upon to do
Well,
it.
this is one of her better ones, you know.
It's the only one.
It's one of her go-tos, you know.
It's the only one I can remember.
She has like 3. And...
All right. Anyway, the police said,
I've forgotten what the story is about
then
now.
Then the old lady she said, "Oh, brownies, very nice, thank you, dearie." See, I can do one too. She said the next thing she remembered, she was woke up on the couch. It was 4 hours later, and her TV and $500 from her purse gone.
Jerk.
Yeah, police said she had a high level of a tranquilizer of some sort found in her system. Jellicoe, Mr. Jellicoe, is charged with abuse of a vulnerable adult and larceny. Court records didn't list an attorney. Boo, brownie bandit, boo! Boner candidate number 2. I was sorry about the burgle, but not much we can do. A businesswoman claims that she claims that the police told her to check eBay and cash converters for her digital marketing company's stolen property worth £20,000 in Britain. I think it's in Britain. Kathy Walker said she was distraught when cops told her to look online after her offices in Whitefield, Greater Manchester, were broken into twice in just 5 weeks. She said the cops said, listen, we don't have enough officers available to attend to this break-in because, you know, government spending cuts. And you're better off seeing if the thieves are trying to sell you stuff on eBay. Look for they stole computers and cameras and things and some jewelry. We really don't have time to investigate. Look on eBay and see if any of that stuff's there. And then if you see it there, you know what you can do? You can buy it back.
Jeez.
That's what they do.
Thanks.
Yeah. By the way, they did this all on the phone. She said, "Can you come and at least investigate?" And they said, "I'm sorry, we don't have the manpower to come investigate. So sorry about the burgle. Not much we can do. Just look on eBay." Boner candidate number 2. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. And Gina, I think one of her 3 voices, don't you do a boozy stripper voice too?
It's my everyday voice.
Boozy strippers brawl on EasyJet. That's number 3.
All right. Boner candidate number 3 for round 2, right after this big boy news and opinioendo, brought to you by.
Breakfast at Feldman's Deli is so good, you need to start thinking about it today before you can go there tomorrow, because they're not open on Mondays. But breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Saturday, dinner Thursday through Saturday, featuring local live music Friday and Saturday nights, corned beef, pastrami, mustard, pickles, all imported from New York City. 20th East, 27th South. Go to feldmansdeli.com.
Well, apparently Beyonce has just made, she's made Coachella her bitch.
I watched it.
Did you?
Wow.
Is it good?
Yeah, she is amazing.
I don't know how she did all of that.
I know. All of that on the stage.
Giant.
Kind
of try to describe it, because I haven't seen it.
There's how many dancers?
I thought there were 100 different, the guys going up the stairway in the back, and musicians, and she had several costume changes, and
then Destiny's Child. They
Destiny's
brought
Child came out,
and then Jay-Z,
Yeah.
and her kids, and a shoe that she had when she was a kid, and her mom. It just goes on and on.
She did costume changes that included nail changes.
How long was
she
this
had her nails changed?
Wow.
How long was this performance? How long did it?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched a snippet of it.
I don't know.
But what I saw was pretty amazing.
So it was like a whole concert evening.
Oh, yeah, she's the headliner.
Yeah.
She's the...
Yeah, apparently. Well, I'll go look at it now. You guys
you
are
should.
raving about it.
It's pretty amazing.
Let's see. James Comey. If there's any chance that President Trump and James Comey could have avoided an all-out war, it ended on Sunday. That was when ABC News aired the interview with Mr. Comey, the president's fired FBI director, as he uses a publicity blitz for his tell-all memoir called A Higher Loyalty to raise the alarm about what he calls the dangers that Donald Trump poses to the country. While ABC aired 1 hour of its conversation with Comey, it had conducted a 5-hour interview with him. A transcript of that is available. I'm sorry, Bill. It's available in the New York Times.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sorry, because I know you're a snob who doesn't believe in reading the New York Times.
A snob against the New York Times?
A snob against the New York Times.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
This is where the news is, Bill. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Failing New York Times.
In it, Mr. Comey called Trump a serial liar. Now, I guess this is stuff that was not on the TV. This is stuff he said in the long interview. He called Trump a serial liar who treated women like meat, and described him, and these are direct quotes, as a stain on everyone who worked for him. He said a salacious allegation that Trump had cavorted with prostitutes in Moscow left him vulnerable to blackmail by the Russian government, which says to me that Comey knows that it is true, that it did happen. And he asserted that the president was incinerating the country's crucial norms and traditions like a wildfire. He compared the president to a mafia boss. Now, Comey, when he wasn't, before he was head of the FBI, he was, I think, a prosecutor, and he did a lot of cases with prosecuting mafia bosses.
He knows his mob.
He knows the mob.
Mm-hmm.
He said, our president must embody respect and adhere to the values that are at the core of this country. The most important thing being truth. This president isn't able to do that. He is morally unfit to be president.
Ouch.
The Wall Street Journal has reported that Michael Cohen, the attorney whose office was broken into and ransacked,
not the case.
Attorney-client privilege out the window. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Donald Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, killed a story Us Weekly was preparing about an affair that Donald Trump Jr. had with a Celebrity Apprentice contestant.
Well, and he was supposed to show up for court on Friday and didn't show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, but Cohen, and then everybody is saying who knows him, he's really not he's only barely a lawyer.
He has one client.
He doesn't do any lawyering much.
No, he has one client.
Well, and he doesn't do anything in court for that client.
No.
Now, this is, Gina sent me this, and I'd seen the New York. I'm sorry, I take the New Yorker as well, Bill. Oh, sorry. and I read stuff from not only the New York Times, but the New Yorker.
I love
to get
this.
both sides of New York.
Now I'm just going to read you one little segment of that whole story.
You should go find, Carrie, you should go find, Bill,
I'll give
read
it
the
to
whole
him.
thing.
I have read the whole thing.
No, I mean, I'm at this bill.
It's called Michael Cohen and the End Stage of the Trump Presidency.
Oh.
And just here are 3 paragraphs from it. The narrative that's going to be widely understood, I guess they're saying, since they've gone into Cohen's offices, the narrative that will become widely understood is that Donald Trump did not sit atop a global empire. He was not an intuitive genius and a tough guy who created billions of dollars of wealth through fearlessness. He had a small and sad operation, mostly run by his 2 oldest children and Michael Cohen, a lousy lawyer who barely keeps up the pretense of lawyering and who now faces an avalanche of charges from taxicab-backed bank fraud to money laundering and campaign finance violations. Cohen, Donald Jr., and Ivanka monetized their willingness to sign contracts with people rejected by all sensible partners. Even in this, the Trump Organization left money on the table, taking $1 million here, $5 million there, even though the service they provided, giving branding legitimacy to blatantly sketchy projects, was worth far more. So, this article is saying we're looking kind of at the end of, we may be looking at the end of the Trump presidency, what they're asserting here.
Well, yes, I can definitely see that. But yet there are people who you will encounter today who, if you were to bring this to them, they would just call you crazy and say he's doing fine.
Well, Dylan believes that Donald Trump will serve 8 years as president.
Really?
Shut up, Dylan.
I don't see that happening.
This really is a sad story. And I think about this story fairly often. In January, when they heard that 13 children had been found inside a Southern California house chained to their beds, brothers Rosenberg and Rudenberth Salgado rushed to that home with posters displaying the picture of Elizabeth Elena Laguna Salgado with the word missing. The brothers who lived nearby went there without knowing any of the details, and as it turns out, it was the story of the family that it was their own children, and they had kept them. But
these 2 things aren't related at all.
But before that came out, these guys thought maybe one of those people that's being held captive in that house is our relative. It's Elizabeth. So
she disappeared, and
3 years ago in Provo, vanished without a trace. Was walking home from a language class where she was learning to speak English better, and she's just gone 3 years ago. No trace, no leads, zero. And so
I heard a follow-up story on this the other day where her family members were saying, if you're worried about your immigration status and you know something, the police have said, and they have, we will not ask you about your status. We will not. This will not be held again if you have any information, because because of the community she lived in. There are a lot of people that are illegal, and they may know something, but may be afraid to come forward.
Now, she wasn't illegal.
And
her family is not.
But
and then, what do you think about this? Credit card signatures are about to become extinct. People have used the handwritten signature to prove their identity, but it's also become an expression of personality in addition to a sign of growing into adulthood. You're asked to sign your credit card. For nearly a decade, Doug Taylor, a sales manager, he signs his credit card and he has receipts and he signs the stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying it's going to be pretty much, when you get your receipt and they say, would you please sign this, at a restaurant or whatever, that's going to stop.
So what are you going to do?
Your credit card is
enough.
Yeah, there have been times when I've bought stuff, and it just depends on the store. I haven't had to sign.
Sometimes it's the dollar amount.
Sometimes, but I always thought it was like, if it's above $50, they want a signature. But I went to the grocery store the other day, a month ago or so.
Target plans to eliminate it.
Yeah, it was like $100, and it didn't ask for my signature.
Yeah, Target says they're not going to. This month, they're going to stop asking for people to actually sign receipts.
Interesting.
Walmart considers signatures worthless, and they've already stopped recording them on most transactions. MasterCard says it's been wanting to make the change for years, but held off until cards got the chips in them. Credit card companies say that there are enough unique codes within the credit card itself that it identifies you. That's it. That's fascinating.
That's good.
So each credit card is unique. It identifies you. You don't need to sign it. There's information in there that says yes, this is this person.
Good.
That's really strange, I think. And finally, this, and it's kind of weird, and it's true. Magazines are not featuring Melania Trump.
That is true.
Think about it.
I've not seen many pictures of her on magazines.
The internet was
she doesn't give interviews, for one thing.
No, it doesn't matter. The internet was in a tizzy last week when actor James Woods pointed out via Twitter that she has not been on magazines. And his point is, if she were a Democrat, she'd be on magazines.
She's not accessible. She doesn't agree to interviews.
Yeah.
She's been on one magazine cover, Vanity Fair Mexico.
Wow.
Their Mexico edition.
It doesn't have anything to do with Democrat or Republican.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
Michelle Obama spoke a lot and gave a lot of interviews. So
it doesn't. So it says here, Anna Wintour.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how I think that's how you say her name? She was going to be on Vanity Fair. Melania Trump was. And Wintour said, no, don't want her. Don't want her on there. She would appear on, fashion magazines and things like that. Michelle Obama appeared on fashion magazines, and it didn't have anything to do with whether there was an interview really or not. It was just her on the cover of the magazine and maybe a little blurb about her or what she was wearing. She's appeared on Essence magazine, More magazine, and Glamour. But really during no, that's Michelle Obama. Melania Trump has only been on one, Vanity Fair Mexico. Michelle Obama's was on dozens of them. So I think they're just kind of, they don't want her on there.
The Trump brand is kind of poison right now, so
All right, that's it.
Sports weather traffic.
Yeah, so everybody lost. Sorry. Except the Monarchs, they're good. You can be happy about that. We'll start fresh this week. How about that?
That was a really great detailed sports report.
We'll start fresh. I don't choose to dwell on the losses. We're going to look ahead, or be positive, forward motion, looking ahead to this week.
Well, when's the next Jazz game?
Wednesday, I think.
Okay. And it will be game 2?
Yes.
Of the
against
Thunder.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
And it's in?
Oklahoma.
Okay, good.
I think. I don't know.
It is.
Weather, that's something to look forward to. That's nice today. 72 for a high. It is going to be windy later because it's going to be blowing in our next storm. But that doesn't get here till tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about that. And traffic, not so bad this morning either. Signal problems. Flashing red, 47 south, I-215 westbound in Taylorsville. Treat that as a four-way stop. Crash westbound I-215 at Redwood Road in Salt Lake. That is off to the left shoulder. And looks like that's about it. Just a little bit of regular morning slowage northbound I-15 through the Draper and Sandy area. That's traffic.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Boozy strippers brawl on EasyJet. And there's video of 3 women thought to be a trio of lap dancers launching into a booze-fueled fight after drinking vodka that the cabin staff had earlier confiscated from them. 3 boozy girls pulled apart by the jet's cabin crew at 30,000 feet. The trio, thought to be lap dancers, scrapped and tore one another's hair out and left one of the girls with a bloodied face. X96.com/live, there's one of the sweethearts brawling on. 30,000 feet in the air, 3 strippers, drunk. I think that would be rather entertaining.
No, but she's at that crying stage of being drunk. That's never...
The drunken they were swearing. Drunken swearing had earlier drawn complaints from the EasyJet passengers. Firm boss Angie Dilloway, whose daughter Bella is heard screaming in the footage of the fight, said staff seized the booze from the women, but they somehow got it back. And then kept brawling and arguing. It turned into a bloody fight. Boner candidate number 3, boozy strippers brawl on EasyJet.
Let's review the first two and vote.
Number 1, boo, Brownie Bandit, boo. A young guy who's accused of giving his elderly neighbor, who had been good to him, he gave her brownies laced with some sort of tranquilizer and knocked her out. It knocked her out, and he stole her television set and $500 from her purse. Boner candidate number 2, sorry about the burgle, but not much we can do. Police telling a victim of a robbery to, check eBay for your stolen goods, and if you see them there, you could buy them back. And boner candidate number 3, boozy strippers brawl on EasyJet.
All right. You got to decide which one of these three candidates here in round 2 is the worst, or however you wish to see it, the best, the most deserving to go forward. Get that 50-50 chance of becoming boner of the day. You got to pick your winner, pick a contender right here. 1, 2, or 3 is candidate number. Put the number of the candidate that you think should win in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. You can call, use your voice to vote, 877-602-9696. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting April 16 and vote there. You've got 4.5 minutes. Let's go. We'll have the winner of round 2 after these.
Keep the radio on. A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts at 10. X96.
voting.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you in part by Pasta Primavera.
And Bad Apple introducing low price guarantee on iPhone screen repair. Just bring in the advertised price from another business and Bad Apple will beat it. 10 locations. Go to badapplerepair.com.
Boner candidate number 1, Boo, Brownie Bandit, boo! My favorite candidate. Kid has been going over to talking to this old lady. She's nice to him. She's probably lonely. He chats with her. She gives him a little money every time he goes over. Then he decides he's going to give her some brownies. He takes her some brownies. Oh, how nice. There's some brownies for you. It's got some kind of tranquilizer in it. Knocks her out, and he steals her TV and $500. What a turd. Boner candidate. Oh, this is not turd of the day, though, is it?
Well, it's a great idea.
Yeah, maybe we should launch that.
No turd of the day.
Let's stop doing boner of the day finally and do
This
turd
is one
of
that
the
we
day.
choose and no one votes on.
That's right. TOD. That's right. You're turd of the day. Boner candidate number 2. Sorry about the burgle, but not much we can do. Police telling a burglary victim in Manchester, listen, we budget cuts, you know. Just look for your stolen items on eBay, and then if you see them there, you can buy them back. And then boner candidate number 3, boozy strippers brawling on the EasyJet. I didn't get it.
You didn't?
Get the results.
I didn't either.
Oh.
I have not seen the results. I sent them
You sent a message?
the way I was supposed to do it because this is not working correctly. So someone will have to come either.
Number 1.
We had a prize we gave away too, right?
Tammy won the Boner T-shirt.
And the winner, number 1, Boo Brownie Bandit, boo.
All right. Here's your winner of round 2. It will now face the winner of round 1 to decide who is boner of the day. That comes up at 9:20. That's when Boner Fight happens. That's when it will be decided by you who is boner of the day.
Right.
Next.
Geek News on Radio from Hell, always brought to you by our friends at Cabin Fever. Gifts, puzzles, books, playing cards, retro candy, and lunchboxes. Cabin Fever, located in the heart of Trolley Square, 5th South, 7th East. Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
All right. Brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available now. The name of the episode is Woo!
Okay.
So
W-U-U-U-U.
like the Woo Girls?
It's
like
a
the
woo.
Like not just, I mean, it's just Woo.
Woo!
What's
You're
going on?
you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Basically, the Geek News Desk is just biding our time until next week when we get to see Avengers Infinity War, or everything I've ever dreamed about on the screen. We know very little about the movie because most of the people involved in it have been kept in secret. Only a handful of people know the plot. Most of the actors don't know what the real
Really?
plot is. They've just been handed their scripts. And we've got actors who are in it that we don't know what they're playing. We still don't know who Peter Dinklage is playing. He's in it.
Or is he?
He's on the poster.
Well.
But Joe Russo, one of the Russo brothers directing it, has let this one slip. An actress you really like.
Who's that?
Carrie Coon from The Leftovers and Fargo.
Yeah.
She is in the movie. You won't recognize her, though. She'll be under a lot of makeup. She will be playing Proxima Midnight, the spear-wielding female member of Thanos' Black Order.
Oh, yeah.
So look for her under all the makeup there as Proxima Midnight.
No picture of her yet.
Not yet.
Her name should be Bout Midnight.
About midnight.
Long about midnight.
Another question that we have while we're waiting.
Yeah.
Is where's Hawkeye?
He's on the poster too.
He's not one of the more favorite members of the Avengers. I like him.
He's off buying new arrows.
Isn't he in the poster though?
He's on the poster, but he's not in the trailer.
Is the Falcon in there at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in the trailer.
Because I keep hearing about, Black Panther is the first black superhero of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but didn't the Falcon wasn't he kind of around before?
He was.
Yeah.
But we do know that Hawkeye is in the movie. But all that Joe Russo said was, we keep saying patience is a virtue. We did not forget the twice-nominated Jeremy Renner. We just cooked up a story for him that's a little bit of a long play, not a short play. That's all he's saying. So We know he's in the movie.
He's going to enter an archery tournament.
Another little tidbit that they give you about the movie says there are a few surprises coming. I would say that Arrested Development fans should keep their eyes open on this one. Because, you know, they directed a lot of the episodes.
It's going to be Liza Minnelli.
Of Arrested
Liza
Development.
Minnelli's going to be in
it. Maybe. So it's just little tidbits.
It'll be fun.
We're getting little tidbits. I'm seeing it a week from tomorrow. All right. Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
If you have not watched it yet, turn off your radio.
Oh, you're going to spoil it.
For just a bit. Because I'm going to talk about how it ended.
Right.
The 10 episodes. 10 or, I can't remember now.
Yeah, I think it was 10.
10 or so episodes. But the last thing you see is the Discovery meeting in space with the Enterprise.
Right.
The original Enterprise.
And there's some, how do they mention Pike? They do mention.
They do mention, this is Captain Pike is hailing us.
That's right.
Yes, and that's all you get.
We're being hailed.
That's how it ended.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now remember the timeline of this Star Trek is it's 10 years before Kirk got on the Enterprise.
Right.
Okay.
So Pike could have been out there for 10 years.
Pike was.
He was out there.
Yeah, that's all part of the canon.
He was the captain of the Enterprise.
And they've cast Captain Pike, and we told you about that last week. But Jonathan Frakes,
it's your friend,
your buddy,
my buddy,
who was at El Paso Comic-Con, let it slip that we'll be seeing Spock as well.
So that would be probably Zachary Quinto.
Well, would it be? Because that universe is a different universe than the one that they're playing in now on Discovery. Because they say Discovery is in line with the original Star Trek and Next Generation and all that. It's in that universe.
But
where the Kelvin universe is what it's called. God, I'm a nerd.
Kelvin. You're getting into it now.
I'm getting into it now. That's a different timeline.
But but so now remind me, in Discovery, Spock is in that.
Spock was probably the first officer on the Enterprise at the time that Captain Pike was there.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
he was in the.
I mean, for this timeline.
Yeah.
But what Frakes is saying is that it will be the episode that he's directing is the second episode of the second season, and he says it's a child Spock that I'm casting.
Okay, well
because it's flashbacks.
Okay. That makes sense.
But if they're doing that, they might as well have young Spock on it.
Yeah.
Right? And
teenage Spock with pimples and
and then
Spock never had pimples.
His voice breaks.
The Young Spock spinoff.
Young Spock, Young Spock Chronicles.
I'm Young Spock. Hi.
And people have asked me about why does the Enterprise look so different? If it is in fact that timeline, why does the Enterprise look so different on Discovery? Legal reasons.
Yeah.
They don't have rights to that?
There was a whole, when Star Trek was sold after Roddenberry died and all of this stuff, they had to change it by 25%.
This is Majel Barrett's fault, isn't
It's
it?
something to do with
25%?
that.
It's supposed to be an off shade of gray. And
it's a different color, the warp nacelle is dissimilar. And,
I don't remember what it looks like in Discovery.
Oh, it's
though.
beautiful. I love it. I mean, I love the classic Enterprise, but that one that I saw on Discovery, that's the one I want.
Okay.
Anyway, so there is all of that. Let's see. We're getting closer to Chapter 2.
Are they filming it?
It's going to start production. Oh, and they've started production on Discovery as well. There's a video of Doug Jones shaving his head to get ready to play that alien that he plays.
He is so great.
He's really good
as
at
that alien. It's just like
it's a good
stunning.
It's good Star Trek. You should be watching.
You know who's great too? Just as a side note, Bill Irwin, is that his name in Legion? Mm-hmm. The guy with the glasses, the scientist guy with the glasses, who has the other person living in the woman inside.
Carrie and Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie and Carrie. He is fantastic. They did this scene where they're all dancing. Something's making them dance. And it's just so incredible.
He's a bit of a contortionist.
No kidding.
He go back and watch the movie Popeye. He's in it. A very young version of him, of course.
Really?
He's in it as one of the people that live in the village that Popeye goes to. And at one point, he is squished down.
Oh, I can know who you're
That's
talking
not
about.
all special effects. That's just him.
I looked
where they squish him into like a puddle, and he does that. You know.
I looked him up, and apparently, I guess he does one-man shows a lot in New York and stuff. And
yeah,
anyway, sorry to
he's a
sidetrack
contortionist.
that.
Anyway, It, Chapter 2, they're going to start shooting in July, and that means that they need a cast. Who's going to play the adult versions of the kids?
I thought they'd already decided.
They got Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, that's a huge.
She's one of the kid, the grown up.
She's the redheaded girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're talking to. This has not been signed, but it sounds pretty good to me. I trust the source. It says that it's 90% done. James McAvoy and Bill Hader.
Wow.
James McAvoy will play the role of adult Bill, the unofficial leader of the kids.
Right.
He grows up to become a successful author, and he returns to face his past. His stutter resurfaces, and the kid Finn Wolfhard, the kid from Stranger Things, who's making all the jokes, that would be Bill Hader.
Okay.
So that's who they're talking to for Chapter 2. And again, if you haven't seen it, it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
And finally, this Rampage beat at the box office A Quiet Place. It was a close run.
Really?
But Rampage won.
Well, I guess.
And then I found this story about the director, Brad Peyton. He has seen Predator over 365 times.
Okay. Well,
when that movie came out, I had a friend who would record everything on VHS. I borrowed his VHS tape, and I watched Predator one summer literally every single day. I've seen it previous to that as well, so I can say for a fact I've seen it for a year.
I guess that's quite an accomplishment, I guess.
So there you go.
Okay.
I can't think of any movie that I have seen for a year.
No.
Not even Star Wars, the first one?
That would be the closest one. Yeah.
Me, it would be Wuthering Heights. I've watched that over and over and over.
All right.
Things are good. A little bit of slowage southbound I-15 around Bountiful and coming into North Salt Lake, and a little bit northbound I-15 going through the Draper-Sandy area, but no accidents to tell you about, so things are looking good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be back with Boner Fight, Boner of the Day coming up, and stuff to give away. We have. Did we give away the tickets already?
We have motocross tickets to give away.
All that and more. Stand by.
It's the Downrange Podcast.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Smith, and I host the weekly podcast called Downrange, which is a weekly...
Line. Spell it with me now. L-I-N-E. And we'll use it now in some dialogue featuring our good friends LeVar and LeGrand. Imagine, if you will, the boys have gotten together for lunch at the High Spot Cafe. The word again is line.
Well, this is good postum here to the High Spot, LeVar.
Look, the words good and postum never go together, LeGrand. Now, the coffee here is mighty fine, but don't tell me there's any difference in any postum you get anywhere. It's all horse pee.
Well, I like it. And that actor guy sure must have gotten rich off on us Utahns when he invented this caffeine-free beverage. Yeah, that Tom Postum has always been funny on the Newhart shows, and he's made a great all-weather beverage, too.
Whoa. Whoa. Now this song sure brings back the memories. I didn't know they had Madonna music on the jukebox here.
Well, why does it bring back memories for you, LeVar? You remember what you was doing the first time you heard the song?
Heard it? Hell, I helped Madonna write it.
Uh-huh. And I had tea with the Queen of England the other day.
I ain't lying, LeGrand. Me and Madonna had kind of a thing for a couple of months back in '87. I guess you could say Madonna was my girlfriend.
Do tell.
If I'm lying, I'm dying, LeGrand. Yep. Miss Chacon and me, that's a real name, you know, was sitting in the breakfast nook one morning after a night of truth or dare, if you know what I mean. So anyway, the phone rings. Madonna answers it and says, "Hey, LeVar, honey, the phone's for you." I said, "Who's that girl?" And the rest is history.
You're lying, LeVar. You're lying through your tobacco-stained teeth.
If I'm lying, then what do you call this?
Yep. It's a picture of you and Madonna sitting in a breakfast nook.
Yep.
Why, looky there. You got matching pajamas with little horses on them.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying at all. That's really her.
Yep. She'll always be my material girl.
Well, what happened? Why did you break up?
I dumped her.
Why in the heck did you do that?
Well, did I ever tell you about me and Tori Spelling?
How did you woo, or how were you wooed by your current spouse? How did you know they were, quote, the one? Thank you for considering my question.
It was the neoprene bustier. That's how I knew.
You should tell people about them. Don't just say that.
That's how I knew she was the one. It was it was the neoprene bustier she was wearing. I went, yeah, she's the one. Yeah, that's the one right there.
We were at a live studio audience up at the Einstein's Bagels in Olympus Cove. And she was there with her friends. I have to credit Artie Fufkin, actually.
Really?
Because I sat there and Artie overheard me. I was like, yeah, I want to go and ask her out, but I just. And what was great is that she just didn't care. She was having none of it. She was tired. She was dragged there by her friends. She didn't care. And Artie said, "Well, you know what you do? You pass her a note."
Like in school.
Like in school. Yeah. Because that's immediately what I said. What, like in school? He goes, yeah, pass her a note. And I did pass her the note. This is I know this is weird, but if you wouldn't mind, get coffee later.
Check this box.
Yes or no? She still has the note.
Really?
Yeah. And it kind of went from there.
I was single at the time, and Mary Claire, my mother, said, "Well, are you dating anybody?" "No, I'm not dating." "Well, are you? Are you talking to anybody?" And I said, "Well, I've kind of been emailing with this guy from college
for a year."
And she said, "Joe Jones?" She totally plucked his name out of the air, and I said, "How did you know?" And she said, "'Cause he was the best-looking guy you went to school with." So Mary Claire knew he was the one before we ever went out on a date. We went out on a date, and we were married 3 months later. It was, I guess you could say it was a year of wooing via email.
3 months. It took 3 months for his divorce to be final, right?
That's another story.
Now, did you find the Mitt Romney?
I did find the Mitt Romney.
All right, let me just read to you briefly where he did this. It was during a surprise appearance at a dinner this week.
Did he pop out of a cake?
For Washington, D.C. radio and television reporters, his top 10 list of reasons why he dropped out of the race for the White House earlier this year.
Oh, now I found the David Letterman. Is this a different thing that you're talking about?
It says here Romney offered the David Letterman-style list, written with the help of several campaign advisors at the Radio and Television Correspondents Annual Awards dinner Wednesday night. A video of the appearances available on YouTube.
Now, see, I've got the David Letterman. I don't know if this is the same thing.
Why don't you do it, and I'll see if that's
I also
the same
have
thing.
The other one, too. So.
Top 10 reasons Mitt Romney dropped out of the presidential race. Well, here you have it. As topical as though torn from today's headline. Exactly right. Top 10 reasons Mitt Romney dropped out of the presidential race. Here we go, number 10. Harsh Midwest weather was murder on his split ends. Number 9.
Is that?
This is not the Mitt Romney one. This is Letterman's, but let's see which one is funnier.
Okay.
Wants to devote more time to his rap persona, P. Mitty. P. Mitty. Number 8. Polls show public doesn't want a president who looks like a casino greeter.
That's good. That's good.
Number 7, just couldn't compete with the Ron Paul juggernaut. Number 6.
That's funny.
Unveiling a new line of honey roasted rom nuts. What? What? What?
Honey roasted rom
Honey
nuts.
roasted rom nuts. I don't know what's the matter with the guy. Number 5, that bastard Zogby had it in for him. Number 4, apparently America's not ready for a white male president. Number 3.
That's good. That's a good one.
Number 3. No, number 3, a writer suffering from Mitt withdrawal. Number 2, there was that little problem of nobody voting for him. And the number 1 reason Mitt Romney dropped out of the presidential race, lost all of his money betting on the Patriots.
There you go. Everyone's asking why.
That's a really good song.
Because A, it's a good song, and B, Arlie Ermy.
Ah, well, that makes
Full
sense.
Metal Jacket.
Because that was the Marines, but he was the Green Army men in Toy Story movies.
And what was his name in Full Metal Jacket?
Oh, I can't remember.
Sir, yes, sir. Can't remember.
Can't remember.
Anyway.
But yes, raising a glass to Arlie Ermy. Oh, I thought about Arlie Ermy. No,
it
too many
doesn't.
syllables. It doesn't work.
Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM Wild Championship returns to Salt Lake City and Rice Eccles Stadium April 28th. Watch the world's greatest athletes compete on the final stop before the World Finals. Start your race day at the Monster Energy Pit Party, where you'll feel the excitement before the race. Tickets start at just $20. That's cheap.
Yep.
Purchase tickets at smithtix.com, or perhaps you will win them playing the game Rider or Writer.
What?
So I'm going to give you a name of a person.
Yes.
They are either a rider, R-I-D-E-R.
Like a Supercross rider.
Yep. Or a writer, W-R-I-T-E-R.
Like an author.
Yes.
All right. So what's the name?
Chad Reed.
And so you text either
Rider, R-I-D-E-R, if you think he is a writer, or writer, W-R-I-T-E-R, if you think he is a writer. Text one of those to 33986.
Okay. It's really not confusing.
No.
It sounds confusing, but it isn't.
No, it's confusing.
I don't think it's confusing.
We'll make you earn these things.
Yeah. So I was at the grocery store yesterday at the Smiths, and I was at the meat counter at the Smiths, the downtown one. And, you don't really realize, just as a sidebar here, what kind of services can be provided to you by just a grocery store butcher if you just ask.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't. But
People
you don't
don't-
think to
people
do
don't
it.
think about it,
Yeah,
no.
you don't think to do it. You think, well, that's you go to a custom butcher shop and like Snyder's out there or
Mhm.
something, and they do things that. But if you ask them at Smith's,
Oh, yeah.
And so I got this pork roast yesterday, and I wanted a pretty big one, a boneless pork roast, and they had some smaller ones like 2 pounds, and I wanted like 5 pounds. So they had these little 2-pound ones that were already kind of tied up in a mesh, that you put them in the oven that way, so that they don't sort of fall apart as they're roasting. But there was a big one, but it was, I thought, oh, I've got to take this home, and I guess I have to tie it up with twine, and I have twine at home where you can put it in the oven, so like every inch you just tie it so that it doesn't spread out while it's cooking. And I asked the butcher, I said, this is what I have to do, right? With this one, I can take this home and tie it. And he said, yeah, I can do it for you right here. Oh, how nice! Save me the trouble. So that's a good thing, and they do all kinds of stuff like that if you just think to ask them. But anyway, I'm standing there waiting for it in front of the meat counter, and there's this woman and her mother. So it's an adult woman and then her very old mother. And I hear the woman she's looking at the meat counter. She says, Mother, they've got chicken thighs here. They're oven ready. That's a funny phrase, isn't it?
Does that mean they were seasoned already or something?
I'm going through my mind, well, aren't they always oven ready? If when they're off the chicken, to me, they're oven ready. But that's what I thought. Well, what is it? What the hell? It's oven ready, and I go over, and it is there. They have like some barbecue sauce on them or something, but they put a sign on them, and it says, "Chicken thighs, oven ready."
They're all seasoned and ready
to go. But I just
a plain chicken thigh isn't ready to go. You're
Yes,
gonna put
it
a
is.
plain. You're gonna put a
Sure.
plain chicken thigh with
can.
nothing on it in the oven.
You can.
Why would you do that?
Well, then you add something when it comes out.
Yeah, ranch dressing.
Yeah, it goes with everything.
Pour it right on top.
I just love those little signs of things in the stores, though. Fresh daily. Just all the little things that are trying to make you look at them and attract you to buy them.
Yeah, the world exists to separate you from your money.
I know, and especially in the grocery store, it's just like, and it's everywhere.
You're
You
a
look
sucker
around.
for advertising.
Well, I don't do it, but it amuses me to see it. Handmade or artisan crafted bread. Or
What bugs me is homemade.
Yeah.
It's not homemade.
They should say
You
home.
made it in the
They
store.
should say store
They
made.
they should say home style.
Or made in store.
Yeah,
or something.
store made I would
It
buy
is not-
over home style because home style's too ambiguous.
Fresh from our bakery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
I don't like it at a restaurant either when they say it's homemade. No, it's not.
You know what I
You
don't like
made
to
it
see
in
in the meat counter too is, and I mean it's not really a negative, but I feel it's a negative when you look at something in the meat counter and it says previously frozen. You know, just like, oh well, okay.
It's not a selling point.
No, but why? I guess
I'm glad they're honest.
They kind of have to say
They
it.
have
I think,
to, I think. Yeah.
But I like things that are. I want to find more things that are oven ready.
Well, go to my Harmon's then, because that's what they are focusing on at that,
oven ready.
at
All
that new
kinds of
Harmon's.
oven ready.
It's all about food to go.
Take it home and heat it
Yeah,
up.
it's all about that. Either your lunch or your dinner. It's ready to do. We've done it for you. It's a prepared meal.
Smith's has these.
You know?
Smith's has these big. I don't know what you'd call them. Big containers, and it says "grab and go."
It's all ready to go. You just
And it's
grab it.
and it's like a lunch or a sandwich of some sort. It's a grab and go, and made fresh daily, oven ready, grab and go. I'm gonna have to take note of more of those. I
Are
just
we?
love
Are
them.
we on? We're on the O's this week.
We are.
When you start the show.
That's what made me start
Yeah.
start
We're
thinking
oven
about
ready.
it.
So
I was going to say oven ready. The Radio from
we're
Hell is
oven ready.
oven ready.
is the most oven ready. Yeah.
Yeah, but I decided to go.
pre-seasoned.
I decided to go with 3-word. So today it was over the top, was it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think over the top. I've gone with 3-word phrases. this
Okay.
week. So oven ready.
Well,
You
let's
could do oven ready.
let's
Nah,
put
we've
oven
already-
ready. Let's use oven ready somewhere.
How about poppin' fresh? The peas are coming up.
Oh well, write
Radio
it down.
from Hell, poppin' fresh.
Write it down.
All right.
Okay. After these, we got Boner Fight. You will decide who is Boner of the day. Before that, a reasonable amount of news.
All right,
Stand by.
Hi, I'm Todd Newcomb, and I'm into trains and railroads and model.
It's 9:20 right now. We do have Boner Fight coming up. But first, reasonable amount of news.
That's too bad there's nobody paying for it. It's just going to
really?
happen all on its own there.
Okay.
What? Why did you send me this story?
What is it?
About George Stephanopoulos' sex life?
Because I have questions.
I don't want. This is okay. It says this is a story on a website called The Cut. Oh, is this from New York Magazine? I think they put it out anyway. Here's way more than we wanted to know about George Stephanopoulos' sex life. One consequence of the sex positivity movement. I didn't know that was going on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you didn't know either. Means that we're constantly hearing about other people's sex lives, whether or not we asked. Case in point, journalist and former member of the Clinton administration, George Stephanopoulos. On the heels of his sit-down with former FBI Director James Comey, Page 6 chose to publish some lines from wife Allie Wentworth's new book, Go Ask Allie, in which she reportedly discusses how much she and her husband George do it.
Oh.
She recalls, the lowest absolute moment for me is when the time arrives for the fateful question, how often do you and your husband have sex? I've lost friends with this question. Well, then why ask it? Is that your question?
No,
What's your question?
She's a horrible person.
Why is that? I don't know. I know the name, but I don't know anything about her.
She is so annoying. I don't know how George Stephanopoulos can have sex with her occasionally, let alone as often as it upsets her friends to hear.
What's so horrible about her?
You've never seen her interviewed or...
No. What's so horrible about her?
Just
This
When
is
you're at your
apparently very important to you because you texted, you sent me this story, and I've just now read it, and I go, so what the hell is this? I don't care about
I
this.
just thought it was funny that there's a sex positive movement and everyone's talking about how much they're having, but go watch, just Google her and watch. I'm not even going to tell you what video
right.
to watch. Just watch a
Any.
couple minutes of her doing anything and you will hate her.
Is she a writer? Is that
Yeah.
what she that's
She's a
her
writer and a
profession?
host. She's been on talk shows and she's just the worst.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure to torture myself. I'll go do
Will you
that.
please?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Didn't she stop to think that maybe if she writes about this, that people will take George less seriously as a news person?
Yeah.
I mean, we already do take him not very seriously as a news person.
But your wife's out there talking about
now
how
you're-
much sex
yeah.
you have.
President Trump on Monday, today, accused former FBI Director James Comey and former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe of committing, quote, many crimes. Comey drafted the crooked Hillary exoneration long before he talked to her, lied in Congress to senators, then based his decision on her poll numbers, the president wrote. Disgruntled, he, McCabe, and the others committed many crimes. Wrong. The tweet from Trump comes after, of course, ABC News airing its interview with Comey and George Stephanopoulos.
Mhm. And this is how low the GOP has sunk. They started a website. The GOP
Yeah, the
started a website.
The National Committee.
And it's called Lion Comey.
Lion Comey.
Lion Comey.
Oh, I think it's
a whole website about
Yeah,
it?
I think it's just lioncomey.com. That's your classy Republican Party,
I
the
think
party of personal responsibility.
It might be Lion James Comey.
Might be Lion. It's one of those, but
Yeah.
that's your GOP.
And they're encouraging people to go there and just make comments about Comey.
Yeah.
I don't know if it might be a Twitter handle, or is it a
It's a website, yeah.
Yeah, so go and so it's there. So go to Lion James Comey, and you can make comments about Comey. And they will. And why the Republican Party would do this, that's really.
They just have so much money in their coffers that and it's like the least classiest thing that they could do.
And now Comey, it has to be said, and
Yes.
I think he probably made some errors along the
Oh,
way
yeah.
there with the Hillary Clinton
Oh,
investigation.
very much.
And
He
his
admitted that.
Yeah, and his decisions were wrong.
Mhm.
And probably he should have done none of that. He should have just sat on that and let it go. But he made these mistakes. But when you talk to people at the FBI, and I've actually talked to someone who's, well, I can't really say because I was supposed to keep it confidential, other than it's someone with connections to the FBI, said that they adored him. The agents, for most of them, anyone who worked with him on a project or a case said, "Oh, he was just great. We loved him. He was terrific. He handled things well. He was smart. He knew what he was doing, and he was a pleasure to work with because it got things done." And this comes from someone who had worked with him. So, with Trump yelling about how he's a liar and unprofessional, the people who have worked with him in the FBI would tell you exactly the opposite. Apparently, and I thought you were going to do this in the Geek News, Stan Lee is now suing.
He says it's elder abuse, which
Well,
is
it
a
is.
sad thing to think about. With
He's suing a former business manager for fraud and elder abuse, a suit that alleges, and I think it's true, that this guy sold vials of Stan Lee's blood.
He did.
As collectibles in Las
he
Vegas.
should go to jail for
Yes,
that.
he should.
It was an ink print that they put on issues of comic books and sold them at this thing in Las Vegas for like $500.
Yeah.
They said that it was for a charity, but apparently it was not.
Yeah. I think that the guy should go to jail, and Stan Lee is going to lead the charge on that.
I hope.
Yeah. All right, is it time for...
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, this is the winner of round one going up against the winner of round two. Round one happening in the 7 o'clock hour, starting at about 7:20 or so. And this was a good, strong candidate. But I want you to bear in mind that the number two is also a very different candidate, but very good as well, okay?
Mhm.
So boner candidate number one, they were just waiting on a friend. Two black men at a Starbucks waiting for a companion to join them. This is a meetup place. And they were going to talk some business or something, but it was with a friend. And the manager of the Starbucks, and this was in, I believe, Philadelphia.
Yes.
The manager of the Starbucks, when one of the guys asked to use the bathroom, and I guess did use the bathroom, but they didn't buy anything. And so the manager called 911 and said, there's something going on here. Come here. And the cops came, and they arrested these two guys.
For nothing.
Who had done nothing. At the very least, the manager could have insisted that they move on if he wanted to, I guess. But Starbucks Corporation and the president of Starbucks is apologizing. But it's really the police here in the long run who went so far as to arrest these guys and fingerprint them. They took them downtown and fingerprinted them.
Mm-hmm.
That's boner candidate number one. Going up against this candidate, very different but very good. Boo Brownie Bandit Boo. A young man befriended an older woman, an 89-year-old woman. He would go over to her house and talk to her. She's probably lonely. And she would give him money from time to time to help him out. And then one day he went over to her house with a batch of brownies and said to this old lady, here, I made you some brownies.
Oh, isn't that nice?
They were laced with some kind of a tranquilizer. It knocked her out. And this young man, stole her TV and stole $500 out of her purse. That's number two.
All right, there you go. You've got to decide which one of these two is the worst. Which one of these candidates deserves to be boner of the day? One or two? Remember your candidate number, put it in the message of a text. And then text that to 33986. Easy. And you can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Looks like Festus is taking votes in the producer's booth. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight April 16. And vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh. It'll appear. You've got less than 300 seconds to do it, though. Let's go. It's Boner of the Day.
Want music? Listen at 10 for a 1-hour non-stop music wingding on X.
Carrie and Bill are doing when they're not on the air in the distant future. The year 2525.
Oh, hello, boys.
Oh, hello there, Chunga. It's about time you showed up.
Sorry. Still got about an hour before airtime, though, boys. Thought maybe I'd change the brine in your pickle vats before we start the show.
Yeah, good idea. Mine's kind of reesty and cloudy. I mean, I can barely see you through the glass. Yeah, and my liquid isn't conducting the electrical impulses I need to blink my eyes.
You guys are amazing. I don't know of any other guys in radio who could have lost their bodies to disease, had their heads preserved in vats through the miracle of cryogenic science, and still go on with the show. I bow in the presence of greatness.
Yeah, and if I still had an ass, you'd be kissing it right now, buddy. Hey, come on, leave the kid alone. All right. He won't change the brine before we have to go on the air if you keep insulting him. Hey, any word on when our audio animatronic bodies are going to be ready, Chunga?
Well, I called Disney and they apologized for the mix-up with the last bodies they sent you boys. But Bill, I thought you looked pretty cool with your head on Little Mermaid body.
I wasn't any better off with that body than I am as just a disembodied head in a pickle vat. Who could walk on that tail? Yeah, the Country Bear Jamboree body they sent me was ridiculous. I think Bill and I are going to be much happier when they send the Chip and Dale bodies. God, ain't technology wonderful? You said it, brother. Only here in the year 2525 could two disembodied heads kept alive in pickle vats do a radio show. And still come out to be about number 15 in the ratings.
Do you guys mind if I wait to change your fluid? I gotta go to the head.
The head. Real funny. What a comedian.
What?
Oh, nothing. Hey, watch out. You're jostling my back. Out!
Help, pick me up. I'm going to die.
Hey, now maybe I can get a full-time gig on the Radio from Hell show. I knew someday I'd get ahead.
Get ahead. Now that's funny, Chunga.
Funny.
Time to award Boner of the Day.
And Boner of the Day is brought to you in part by?
No.
Totally by.
Completely by.
Let's see. Pork roast and pasta primavera and a nice green salad.
So your pork roast wasn't oven ready. So what did you do? What did you do to it?
I made a delicious glaze for it out of apple jelly and ketchup and a little bit of chili pepper. And it was just a recipe I found.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. And it was delicious. You let the pork roast go for a while, and then the last 15 or 20 minutes, you put some of that on it, and then you use it as a sauce for people to add to the pork roast if they like.
Huh.
Yeah. So we had, it was great. I had never made it, and it just turned out great. Boner candidate number one was they were just waiting on a friend. The two black men who were waiting at a Starbucks in Philadelphia, waiting for their friend, doing nothing wrong, but the manager called police because they were black guys waiting, I guess. And the police arrested them. And Boner candidate number two, boo, Brownie Bandit, boo. That's the young man accused of giving his elderly neighbor tranquilizer brownies that had been laced with a tranquilizer, and knocked her out so he could rob her. The winner? Good-spirited voting for both sides, but the winner, boner candidate number 1, they were just waiting on a friend.
I thought that might be the winner. That is your winner for Boner of the Day for April 16. It is now qualified to be Boner of the Week. That is decided on Friday at about this time.
Yeah, you're talking about recipes.
You bet.
So Joe does all the cooking.
That's your husband.
Yes.
It's fortunate that he does all of the cooking.
Isn't it?
Or some of you might be dead if you did some of the cooking.
But he kind of has his staple rotation.
Sure.
Because it's a weeknight, and I make these things
You don't
because
wanna
I
be
can
creative,
just do it. And he said, but I'm tired of those. I want a whole new repertoire.
I got into that rut too.
So he pulled out a bunch of cooking magazines and put them on the counter, and he asked all of us to go through and
pick some.
Pick some.
Yeah.
Okay.
And surprisingly,
yes,
I think you will be surprised.
Okay, surprise me.
That the one thing that we all agreed on that we wanted to incorporate into our rotation.
Without conversing amongst yourselves, you all just.
No.
I mean, you all picked different things, but then there was one thing that you all picked.
Independently.
Yeah.
What was it?
A scallop dish.
Oh, I was going to say it was meatloaf.
No. Scallops.
Scallops, really?
You're surprised with me with scallops.
I love scallops, but I can't stand scallops.
I haven't had scallops in a long time because we were at a restaurant and I got sick on some scallops. And I haven't been able to go back.
Really?
Yeah.
My wife insists, she loves them, and my wife insists that I hate them, and I don't.
You hate them.
You don't like scallops. No, that's not true.
But I was
But I am
surprised.
so picky about them. They have to be just right.
They're hard to cook.
Yeah.
They are hard to prepare.
I don't want to. I don't even try it.
But I surprised. I mean, now I obviously picked other things, but that was one that I was like, oh, I'd like to try that. I was surprised that Festus picked that. I was surprised that Jonesy picked that. I wasn't surprised that Mohammed picked it. But
Well, so scallops, scallops en croix?
it's like with like a sage brown butter sauce or something.
Delicious.
But
and what would you now? Do you also pick the side with that?
So we did pick sides in the magazine. He'll decide which thing goes with what. But I was shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
You know what goes good with scallops? Really good. A hammer and a glass of gin. I don't know why that. but
hammer?
A hammer and a glass of gin I found is just wonderful.
Need a hammer?
I don't. You'll have to come and see how I eat them.
Oh.
And I've eaten them. I'm still not quite sure what they are.
They're They're in a shell.
They're in a shell?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah. They're in a shell. They come from a shell. They are living creatures at some point.
I'll let
in
you
a
know
shell.
how it goes.
Yeah.
I know I took this valuable radio time to talk about
we're
a
on-
meal that we might have sometime in
We're
the
on the
near
edge
future.
of our seats. Yeah. I had a great obituary. Do we have time for that? You know how I like to scour the obituaries. And somebody actually, I saw this one this weekend, but somebody even sent it to me as well. Would you like to hear this one?
Well, how many minutes do you need?
Oh, about 2.5, probably.
Get to it then.
It was in the Salt Lake Tribune. Philip Dayton Thorpe. And there is a picture of Mr. Thorpe, and right under it, Mr. Thorpe has also put a picture of his own mugshot when he was a young man for some crime that he had committed.
Nice.
Now, it doesn't say here, but here's the way the obituary begins. I told you this would happen.
That's funny.
Philip Dayton Thorpe, born in Salt Lake, April 1, 1934, to Warden R. Philadelphia State on his birthday. His birth probably marked the beginning of April Fool's Day. He died April 10, 2018, from causes related to lifelong obesity and sleeping standing up. His grave marker will read, "This corpse is Phil Thorpe's." Wow. Claude, now it doesn't say why, Claude, as he was always called, even by those who knew his name, lived such a boring life that watching paint dry caused him to hyperventilate. His accomplishments will be published at a later date, if any are discovered. He served as an artillery officer in the U.S. Army. Canada wouldn't take him because, so they said, they don't go to war much up there. He served 3 missions for the LDS Church, but they stopped sending him because he always came back. He picked up 3 university degrees along the way, 2 of which he had to return. He was superseded in death by several billion people.
Ugh.
and is survived by his wife of 55 years, Linda Bird. She knew that she had married way beneath herself as they honeymooned at the Salt Lake County landfill. She gave him 6 wonderful children, one at a time. I won't read their names and their grandchildren and so forth and so on. In keeping with one of society's morbid mores, there will be a wee wake Sunday evening for 20 minutes and for 6 minutes before the funeral the following day. The price of admission to each of these events is 1 can of food for his wife, to whom he left nearly nothing. Burial will be in his backyard beside the dog his wife said beside the dog his wife would never let him have. Please don't send flowers. If you have a rush of generosity, then please just give them to somebody and tell them Phil sent you.
He was silly.
He was. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I think it's the kind of person. The person who sent me the obituary said, "Don't you wish you'd known this guy?"
Yeah.
He was the kind of guy you read that and you go, "I'd like to know that guy."
All right.
Phil Thorpe.
9:43. We'll be right back.
It's the Downrange Podcast.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Smith, and I host the weekly podcast called Downrange.
So we flew all Nippon Airlines?
Mm-hmm.
And
you're saying it wrong.
I'm probably saying it wrong.
And how was Nippon Airlines?
You remember when you used to fly and you got a meal?
Yeah.
Maybe 2?
Mm-hmm. And you were treated nicely?
You were treated nicely. You got...
It was a special experience?
Actual silverware?
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you.
Yeah.
You have a picture of actual silverware?
No, I've got actual
He's got
silverware.
it with him.
You stole it?
Shh.
Carrie.
They're our allies, Gina.
Yes,
It's okay.
Look at that. Actual metal. Can you believe that? All Nippon Airlines right there. A&A on the thing. So and they're little, So
Yeah. Cute,
but you could do some damage with this. You could,
Yeah.
But they don't have those concerns. This is the theme music for All Nippon Airways.
Is that was playing while
this
you're
is while you're
being
boarding?
seated? Yeah.
While you're boarding, this is
It's lovely.
isn't it? Though?
Yeah.
It's very nice. So anyway, yeah, it was amazing. Flying was actually pleasant.
And you know why that is? Because those countries, Carrie, are this close to being communist.
Oh, really?
Well,
if that's the case, we could learn from them.
the government subsidizes the airlines quite heavily in most other countries.
How about that? Maybe that's something that should be looked at, because everywhere I went throughout Tokyo and Seoul and Busan, the streets were clean. People had jobs. It was such.
They seemed happy?
They seemed happy. But yeah, I had a wonderful time. Just oh, here it is. And this was
you want to go back?
This
don't
was
you?
this was on a loop, and you know how my earworm is.
Yeah. It stayed with you. Oh, you do. You know the tune.
Yes.
He knows it.
Because it would not stop. It just kept playing over and over. It's the only unpleasant experience about flying on ANA. It's the only
from hell on X96.
All right, 9:49 right now. And CB radio.
Did you ever have one?
Oh, absolutely.
We had one in the studio for a while.
Yeah.
At KJQ?
No. I remember over at Trolley.
Mm-hmm.
We thought you were with us, I think.
We had a CB radio?
Yeah, we thought it might be fun to do stuff on the CB radio on the air. Turned out it wasn't.
No, it was not.
It was really boring and not fun at all.
But I just remember when I was a kid, we had the CB radios in the cars.
I had one.
To keep, in touch with each other. This is pre-cell phone.
Pre-cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny to me that my parents didn't really have an issue with me
talking to strangers.
I realize that now.
Carrie's handle was Care Bear.
No, he hated that.
Well,
it all depends
except on the CB.
It depended on who was serving it up. Yeah, it's strange. They didn't have any problem with me going out and sitting in the truck and talking to strangers.
It was fun.
You didn't give them your address.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They can't really track you down.
And I really didn't have much to say. Was the thing. It was just.
Did they get annoyed with you? Like, kids are playing with
kind
the
of,
CB?
yeah. You could, and after a while, you realized, as a child, I have nothing to say to these people that is relatable at all.
I would just listen. I didn't talk much, but I would listen. But you're only getting one side of the conversation, right? When you're listening to, you don't hear both of the.
No, you could hear both. If they were near enough, if they were near enough to your radio, you could hear both.
So I would just listen to truckers and people talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't join in.
That makes me wonder, sort of related. Do kids prank call anymore?
I hope so. God.
I mean, because you either have a cell phone.
Prince Albert in the can, let him out.
But everything has a caller ID on it, and.
Is your refrigerator running?
I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Prank calling?
Oh, it is with Richie, I'm sure. Richie probably prank calls people today.
Maybe I do. No, the big thing for kids now is what we talked about a while back that happened to me, where they text the number that is adjacent to their cell phone number.
And just talking
start a conversation.
With a stranger.
Yeah. I mean, you don't call up people anymore.
So
but that is the equivalent.
What is the number adjacent? What do you mean? It's like one number.
So
one
like
digit.
your
if my phone number ends in 7.
So like if your ending of your number was 2600, a person would do the same numbers and do 2601 and be like, "Hey, what's up?
You're my neighbor.
You're my neighbor, my number neighbor."
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's the prank call.
Yeah. That's the see how long you talk to people. Well, good to know you. Better go catch it.
That's.
I wonder. It's kind of interesting though. I wonder who would be there.
Now you want to try it?
Kind of.
Go ahead.
Just call that number and just.
No, you text
not
it.
Call. You text it.
Oh, you text it.
Yeah. It's a different thing because the kids don't.
What's the?
Well, but then they get my phone number.
Yeah,
if you say you're my number neighbor, then they know.
But you don't tell them who you are.
And that's what it's called, number neighbor.
Yeah.
You don't.
There's other things.
Don't you know who I am?
You're my number neighbor.
I don't think I'll do it.
No, you shouldn't. and it's not nearly as funny either because they have the number.
Yeah. It's not. That's what I'm saying. The anonymity is gone.
Yep. Star 67 killed it a long time ago.
That's true.
Well, I did that a couple of times. I didn't like that. I felt bad about doing it.
And if you're going to be making prank calls, you certainly you go to a payphone, and good luck finding a payphone.
No. No, that's done.
There are a few. Payphones. John probably knows where they all are.
Yeah, I use them to make prank calls.
Yeah, that figures.
Is that what are you guys talking about?
Prank calls.
We're just wondering if kids do prank calls anymore because I don't think they do.
No, DJs
It's a lost art. It's a lost.
Bad morning shows too.
It's a lost art.
And you're not allowed to, really.
Well, see, there's a trick to it.
Well, by FCC law, you're not allowed to.
Well,
even if you get permission,
there's a gray area.
So when you hear people, telling stories on the radio,
it's all fake.
Most of the time, it's an actor.
Yeah. You remember when it used to be you could call someone and put them on the air without telling you, but there had to be a beep. So during the conversation, you would hear beep,
That was enough?
I don't remember that.
Beep. Yeah, I'll look it up and I'll get you the details on it. But I know that that's the way they used to do it. They would put a little beep there.
When I
and that
first
was supposed to
started-
alert the person. that
Yeah, you were allowed to say, by the way, we're on the air, and then they could just hang up. But now you can't even do that. Unless you call somebody that's outside of the city and they have no idea that.
But you
that they're
can.
being heard.
There are states where you can record people without their knowledge.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Is it?
Yeah.
So what you could put.
But
you can-
recording isn't the same as broadcast.
Yeah, the broadcast.
Yeah,
That's the
broadcasting
FCC.
it live
yeah.
on the air is.
All right.
I got hit with a salad on the way in.
Wow.
Well, I was in my car and I was driving on I-80, and somebody threw a salad out their car window, and it landed right on the hood of my car.
Like in a plastic container?
Yeah, it looked like a Cafe Rio salad because I know those really well. It had the tin and the.
Just threw it out of the car.
Was it enough?
Yeah.
Was it enough to eat? Could you salvage some?
I probably could have if I had pulled over at that moment. I probably could have rescued some of it.
Perfectly good salad. You should do that.
I know. I felt bad because I love to eat salad.
Is there any dressing spillage?
No, there was. That's probably why they threw it out.
Yeah, there's no dressing on
Ah, it doesn't matter.
It's biodegradable. This isn't littering. All right. Let's do some promo and get out of here.
On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show.
I don't have it, so I can't do it.
All right, Gina. Every other.
Okay, then Bill, you start it. And then at the end you go, that's all on Tuesday's Radio from Hell show.
Oh, there. They sent it to me. I got it now.
So now we'll do it the regular way?
Yes.
Okay. On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show.
Bright and early for check-ins at 6:20. We have Utah Arts Festival tickets. Now, we're warning you now so your calls don't suck.
At 6:45, it's an X poll. What is your idea of perfect happiness? Think now, call tomorrow.
And then at 9 a.m., it's Tuesday. Tunes with Todd.
That's all on Tuesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
So I just did a quick Google search. Beep tone warnings. Are beep tone warnings sufficient to provide notice that you're recording a phone call? Yes, they are. They are likely sufficient to put a listener on notice that a call is being monitored or recorded. In California. So maybe some other places too. This is just for California. So beep tone warnings. You used to hear that all the time.
And that's for recordings. That's not for broadcast.
Yeah,
Apparently.
it's different. People are telling me that, yes, kids do still make prank phone calls, and they're mostly to fast food places.
Yeah.
Oh, to make fake orders?
I guess. All right. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Still think Taylor Swift's a boner.
John Smith is next.
Hey, please keep listening.
A 1 hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.